Vaingate Chronicles number 31, No Returns. Long ago during the Second Age, after the primal elves had settled on Sidarhael for a time, the High Queen Gudael Ildruin Erothani was faced with a dilemma. After restoring peace with the help of a few metallic dragons, a great and enduring elven civilization had risen up across Sidarhael, built on the bones of giants. Now this ancient Erothani queen was faced with the question of what to do with certain prisoners, treacherous wizards, evil dragons, aberrations, and other agents of disharmony, some of them so powerful that no conventional prison would keep them, and exile would be a disastrous mistake. The quality of mercy was, however, in the High Queen's nature and the nature of her goddess, for whom she was believed to be an avatar, and thus she enlisted the help of her friend and lover, the ancient silver dragon, Diverges, to assist. And thus it was with the aid of Diverges that a mythal was constructed at the site that would later become known as the Sufferance. To do this, however, Diverges took an oath and bound herself by contract to the powerful magic upholding the mythal, the high magic that governs the magical effects of the Sufferance and its guardians. A guardian herself, she was now bound to the site until the return of the goddess Sehenine of the Moonbow, for this rite was performed on the cusp of the Third Age, even as the day of Parkard, the destruction of the first moon, dawned near. Now, here, long into the Third Age of Sidarhael, long after that fearful doomsday, Diverges hides. In plain sight, she masquerades among the court of the wicked king and the usurper, Ivran Erothani, an elf who has taken his brother's throne and rains terror upon his own people, murdering anyone who threatens his claims and instating the fearsome Black Guard to do his dirty work. While she wears the guise of an elf, Ilanus Liafarahel sits among the Suprema of the Palace of the Stars, where she listens and waits. Sworn to non-interference in elven affairs, she can only watch from her neutral position as rector of the Sufferance, as the ancient homeland of the elves teeters towards ruin at the hands of the usurper king. But there is hope, for recently it has come to Ilanus' attention, Ilanus the alias of the Silver Dragon, it has come to her attention that a group of companions has formed around two curious and unconventional elves. One, a Mistralath, a descendant of the first of the primal elves, and one, a Talandaran, the mortal reincarnation of the lunar goddess's 21st avatar from the Second Age, before the day of Parkard. Her one-time friend, lover, and queen Gudael Sehenine Ildruin Erothani. Further, these companions have been marked by the Kirin Tozen, a celestial creature who has appeared in Sidarhael 5 times now in its long history as a black unicorn, a guardian whose motives cannot be guessed even by Diverges, but whose presence seals the mark and hand of destiny. Thus, after an interminable epoch spanning tens of thousands of years, Diverges has chosen to test the boundaries of her own lawfulness, her own contract with the mythal, and interfere ever so slightly in the unfolding of the world's destiny. Welcome to the Vaingate Chronicles. I'm Russell Kirkby, and I would like to introduce you, firstly, to our new player, Caitlin Flower, who today will be playing Nyla Talandaran, who we will introduce in character properly shortly. We also have, as usual, Gudael Dala Talandaran being played by Joanna Grotenhouse. We have Barry Tahir playing Orika, Michael Bates as Adrik Fogdar, Steve Austin as Leith Mistralath, and Max Easy as Edryn Montkoff. So, thank you for listening. This is the beginning of episode 31 of the Vaingate Chronicles. Caitlin, perhaps you would like to introduce yourself to our audience.
Yes, hello. I am Caitlin Flower, as previously introduced. Thank you very much, Russell. I am relatively new to the D&D community. I've done a couple of games via an old podcast, which one of the other players is still on, called Dungeons and Dipshits. I also took part in the charity stream, the Yes and charity stream that happened a couple of weeks ago. D&D is an amazing game, and I'm so happy to be able to play in this campaign, which is also amazing. And I've said amazing far too many times now, so I will send this to Michael, who has some announcements.
All right. Thank you, Caitlin.
Friends, country people, think for a moment. What if you could make a change in the world? Make it better? Well, you can't punch out a dragon and you can't drag a despot in the streets, but what you can do is to throw a little cash at some really good kids in some real need. We're still doing some charity with Gaming for Charity, and everything goes towards some kids that are, in a hospital and other things that, well, the government isn't doing too much. But by the virtue of kind people like yourselves, you can help. And this week, I am in fact prepared, and I've just pasted the link to Gaming for Charity in the chat. So if you feel a surge of kindness come on and you just want to, or if you want to unburden yourself of just too much money, you can do so there. Thank you kindly.
Thank you kindly. And Gudael, Joanna, how's the archives going over at your end?
It's going pretty well. I've time-stamped 2 episodes this week, so I'm feeling pretty gangsta. And yeah. Wow,
cool.
All good.
We've got because I remember, I think it was today or might have been yesterday, I released I think 2 or 3 episodes just in the last week, because we've all kind of come to fruition at the same time. So there's a bunch of new content up on the YouTube channel if you've missed any episodes recently. And as you probably know, Joanna has been editing them for us, so you don't have to sit through hours of us umming and ahhing and looking up pages of shit and blah blah blah. You certainly don't have to listen to Michael's terrible jokes, because that can really just drag the whole thing down, can't it? No, I'm just kidding. That's the best part, isn't it, Michael? Isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
All right, so let's get down to brass tacks. Who would like to do a recap for us? You were about to leave your apartments at the Tarsellis Temple in the Daughters of Twilight collective at Hemoth Tirith to head back to the ancient tomb beneath the palace under the waterfall. That was where you're planning to go, but you hadn't quite got to that.
Got a little bit distracted last week.
Right. What was the distraction?
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Oh, you wouldn't know. You don't remember that distraction. That's curious. That's very curious.
Adrik and I went and investigated several different leads around the town, which led to me accidentally using some magic and getting chased back to getting a little bit
arrested.
No, not chased and arrested. Yeah.
Right. But particularly Leith got arrested.
Leith got arrested. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was the begging and pleading for the getting out. I think came along after that, and fortunately, Gudael's brother Aelar came to the rescue. I think, and
he's a good dude.
He's a good.
That's what big brothers are for, right?
Big brothers, yes.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. So there you go. Okay, so while all that's been going on, Caitlin. So
Yes.
you've just arrived in Hemoth Tirith, or you've been here for a little while, perhaps a day, maybe even less. You arrived today. You've gone and visited Gelt Sunbrazen, and you've arrived at his door, and he's told you the location of the companions to whom you need to visit with as soon as possible with your bag of tricks, as it were. Deliveries that are from Vashti Windwalker, the apothecary of Lithlian and friend of the servants of the Fox. So he explains to you, or he has already explained to you at this point, that they are at the temple, the Tarsellis temple. That's the name of the god that this particular temple is named after in Vaingate, belonging to the Daughters of Twilight faction. So you make your way through the city, up through along the stairs and up through this large capital, elven capital city is what I'm trying to say. I can speak English, really I can.
English is hard language.
Yes, English is hard language. And you arrive at the Daughters of Twilight complex, which has paladins posted outside the gates. All of the Daughters of Twilight, all of the full members of the Daughters of Twilight it's a group of matriarchal paladins and clerics. And so there's this group of female paladins outside on guard. And you approach them, and they stop you and step forward. One of
Hello.
them steps forward to you. Greetings. How goes it here on the Festival of the Wheel as it comes to its end? You are here to see someone, I assume, she says.
I am. I am here to see Gudael Telandara and Adrik Edryn and Leith and Edryn.
I see. She steps aside. She says, "You give me one moment, please." And she goes back to this guardhouse just inside the gate. And a minute later, she returns and she gives you a piece of paper that has a pass written on it. It's essentially a...
It's a hall pass?
Yeah, basically. It's a hall pass. It allows you into the complex. And so you take that piece of paper, I assume this parchment, with a stamp on it, a waxen seal, and you head into the complex, I assume. Shortly thereafter, you arrive at a building, what they're calling the barracks, and are allowed in by a young elven male. He's a squire named Gwyll. And Gwyll opens the door and lets you in, and he takes you down the corridor. He says, "Yes, they're just down here. They've been here for a few days now, and they're just staying in these apartments just here. Would you like me to ring the bell for you, madam, or would you do it yourself?"
No, that's okay, Gwyll. I can do it myself.
Would you like me to stay here in case you need anything?
No, I think I'll be all right. Thank you, laddie.
Very well. I will just be down the hall. And he walks
As
off.
you wish.
So you're standing outside this door, and there is a string with a bell on it.
Nyla's going to listen at the door.
Okay.
Can I hear anything inside?
All right. You can make a perception check, please.
Perception.
And let me just test my new system. Before you roll, I just want to do this thing. Here we go. There it is. Do you see? It's on my Dungeon Master screen. I've turned my Dungeon Master screen into the dice page.
Good job.
I think
Amazing.
I'm so clever having done that.
19.
19, okay. Okay, all right, companions, what does she overhear inside your room at present?
So, you ready yet?
Hold on, I'm just trying to get my armor back on. You know what the worst thing about this is? This lovely, lovely dwarven plate?
What?
Taking it off to use the privy.
I don't want to know your privy business.
Well, that's why
that's a little bit too much information, I think, Adrik.
There we go, it's back on.
So too.
10 minutes every time to get this on. 10 minutes.
Adrik.
Boom,
Yes.
boom, 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 boom. So Nyla does not use the bell.
I'll go and answer the door.
She bangs on the door. Okay, so unusually there is a bang at the door as opposed to a bell.
I will go and answer the door.
Okay, so when you open the door, Orika, what stands before him?
A very pale and very tall elven woman stands before him. She has white opalescent hair to about her waist, and she's got these bright golden eyes and she's kind of other. She doesn't look like a normal elf. She looks like there's something wild about her.
So the wildness, is that kind of wild in her eyes, or how do you...
Just something about
something
her.
about her. Okay, so Orika, how do you respond to that?
Who you want to see?
I believe they want to see you and your companions. Can I come in?
After you tell me who you want to see, you can come in.
I would like to see Galadriel.
Okay. Come in this way. After you, tall person.
Nyla.
Who?
Nyla. That is my name.
Do we know a Nyla person?
A Nyla.
Yeah, she's come to visit us.
I'm going to pull out a small white foxtail and just sort of...
Do you walk in the room with it, or
Yes.
are you still standing in the doorway?
I'm still standing in the doorway, and I'm going to just sort of like pull it out of my sleeve and just...
As soon as Orika sees that, he grabs her and pulls her in. I believe, and he shuts the door.
Boom.
This is for you guys.
Hello. Is there a Gudael, an Adrik, a Leith, and an Edryn?
Leith sees the fox fur in her hand and goes, "I'm Leith. Hello. How can I help you?"
Right, I believe one of our mutual friends has sent me to see you.
Who would that be?
Someone asked about an apothecary.
Oh, so it's
yes.
our potion delivery.
Yes, we're waiting on a
nice,
potion.
very good.
Yes, I have 2 potions here for you, and I have been told to assist you in anything that you need help with.
Oh,
2 potions.
wonderful.
Well, we need all the help we can get. That's for sure.
What do you
Nice
do?
to meet you.
What's your speciality? I think that's the right word. Yes.
Well, that's kind of personal, isn't it?
I don't mean. Oh, I mean, what's your vocation? Yes.
My vocation is to aid in any help that I can, and it is something of not exactly legal in these states.
Oh, we don't. We certainly don't judge. No, the legality of what you might get up to, but
I'm gonna
Good,
druid
yes.
craft a little daisy and put it on his ear.
Okay, so she crafts a daisy and places it on Leith's ear. Aw.
Thank you.
Oh, it's
yes.
a marked improvement, I have to say.
So you were looking for Gudael. This is Miss Telandarin.
I see Gudael. I will curtsy, and I will say, "I am here as you need, Lady Telandarin."
Oh, it's Talandarin. And
Right? Yes.
you needn't be so formal. It's fine.
I am Nyla and Telandrian.
Oh, our names sound very similar.
Yes. And I will hand her the potions that I was given.
Ah, excellent.
So you
And-
literally take them out of the bag, or you have them ready, or
I have them in a like a gilded like sack that was inside of my pack, and I pull it out and I give it to her.
Are you currently carrying the bag of holding that you had in your possession?
I am, yes.
Okay.
But
Alright.
it is hidden beneath a cloak that I have purchased.
Right. Makes a lot of sense. Okay. Okay.
That like once she removes the bag, like her stature sort of shrinks a little bit because she was using it to like make her look more imposing.
Right. Okay. Very good. Very good.
All right, so
What's Adrik
what's-
doing during this whole exchange?
well, when Michael was thinking, oh, it'd be really funny when Nyla says, what I'm into isn't illegal in these states. I was going to do a line of Meredith tears off the table. Actually, no, I think I still might, because when she said legal in these states, like, oh, that's useful actually. So he's gonna like take one of the vials of Meredith tears and he's gonna do a line.
Wow. Okay. So Meredith tears. Let's just quickly go back through Meredith's tears. Where did you get Meredith's tears from, and what do you recall they do?
We got Meredith's tears when we were down in the Underdark with the goblins. I bought about two more uses of it.
Right.
And I have to roll a D100, and if I think I get a 5 or a 10% on that, I get advantage on perception, can't be surprised, and have an advantage on initiative rolls.
Right. Okay, so welcome Melanie Ray here for Caitlin. Thank you very much for coming along. Caitlin, you better be on your best behaviour. You've got friends paying
Hi,
attention.
Mel.
We're starting off strong with doing a line. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
You've got fans even.
Fans. That's awesome. Okay, so so you literally are doing some Meredith's tears. Okay, very good. So you're a little bit wired now, Adrik.
I got a 48 on that roll, so I don't think it has the intended effect.
It doesn't have the intended effect, because you're a little bit disappointed with it, perhaps. Are you feeling like you're getting over it? Yes.
Well, I think this is the first time I've used it since then. It's like I'm not addicted. I don't have a habit. It's like, oh, this will be useful. It's like,
right,
a bloody goblin.
So it might have a slightly stronger effect because you haven't done it for a while.
Oh, maybe.
So maybe you can have an advantage D100 roll.
Oh.
Which means you get to roll twice, right?
Oh my, thank you.
Right. I didn't expect this when we logged in tonight.
No, me neither. It's almost as bad. That's a 64.
This new person immediately does drugs.
Well, I'm going to let you decide on your the outcome of that.
Oh, bugger. I think he's just going to sneeze it out, and it's going to be kind of awful.
Right. So okay. So Adrik's sneezing while Nyla's handing potions over to Gudael at present. Orika, you're standing back, I'm assuming, by the door.
I'm standing close to Lady Talandaran.
Right. That does make sense. Okay, standing just behind her. Edryn, where are you while this is all going on?
Currently, Tup in badger form is trying to climb up Nyla to get to the little white fluffy thing. Because Tup would have seen that and gone, oh, that looks familiar, and starts going for it. Edryn, however, is eyeing up the potions.
Right.
And I think we only requested one.
Yes, I was thinking that as well.
I might have a look at them and see if they both do the same thing, if that's all right. Just can't be too careful these days.
One might be wake 'em up, and one might be go sleep.
Yes, I'm afraid one of them might not be as waking up as permanently putting to sleep. I'll have a look if that's okay.
Okay, Nyla. Is it Nyla?
Yes, you can call me Nyla. It is easier.
Are you able to tell us anything about the potions? Do you have any details?
Not exactly. I was just told to bring them here and give them to you and to aid you and assist you in any way possible. Hello, little buddy. And she's going to pick up the badger and like put it on her shoulder and let him play with the little foxtail.
Okay. All right. So, Edryn, have you gotten the potions at this point?
Yeah, I handed them over.
You handed them over. Okay. So they're very similar to look at. So do you want to make an investigation check?
Oh, I get advantage on that because of my crystal thing. So with advantage at 19.
19. Why is it telling me it's a 10?
Well, I rolled twice because I rolled with advantage. So the first
I
one was 19 and the second one was 10.
Okay. And just so that the audience knows, we have the D&D Beyond Twitch extension on this channel. So if you're interested in knowing who you're talking to, who's playing what, you can literally just mouse over the edge of the screen and you'll get a D&D Beyond pop-up that you can lock it there, and you can check out people's stats and hit points and so on and so forth. So keep that in mind. Yeah, as we go forward. All right. Very good. So you are examining these potions now. You've got a 19, yeah?
Yep.
One of them is some kind of sleep potion based on the... It doesn't actually tell you what it is. There's no label on it that has a name. Instead, there's a list of ingredients written in very, very small, very fine handwriting in Elven. And some of the ingredients are not even listed in Elven. They're listed using their alchemical symbols. So you have a bunch of symbols and writing there which you're able to decipher a lot of it, from which you can figure out one of them is straight out, flat out, kill you dead poison. And the other one is a sleeping potion that you think will lower a person's heart rate to virtually 0 for a period of a few hours, maybe even a day.
Well, this one's the sleepy one, so I'll hand that over to Gudael, since I feel like that would be your area of expertise with giving it to our intended receiver. And I'll put the other one away.
Okay.
Nyla, it looks like you have an inspiration from the chat.
Oh, wow.
Thank you to OrsonD.
Right, Nyla has
Thank you.
inspiration, so okay, so you can add that to your sheet or just keep it in mind at any time. You can have advantage on a saving throw, skill check, or attack roll. Leith,
Yes.
what are you doing right now?
Taking in this new person, thinking that she might be useful to take with us on our journeys, and but just kind of standing back after that little interaction.
Right. Okay, so you're just standing back, watching her, observing, so on. Okay. And Gudael, where's your mind at right now?
Well, Gudael's got her mind kind of on the mission. Well, I think she's trying to figure out what the next thing is. And then she says, have you had anything to eat lately? Are you hungry? Shall we call for some tea?
I'm perfectly satisfied, thank you. And she's continuing to play with this little creature that is obsessed with the foxtail.
Right, Tup. Okay, so how big is this? What is he currently? He's not a weasel, is he?
No, he's a badger
He's
now.
a badger. Badgers are quite big, right?
Yes, that's
Like-
still
Like the size of a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
still a tiny creature, but quite plump,
Quite
rotund,
plump. Rotund, okay.
just like me.
All right. Very good.
I say, Nyla, could you perhaps explain who it was that furnished you with that little fox trinket?
Fox trinket.
If you recall.
That would be Maeve.
Oh, very good. Yes, Maeve is a very good acquaintance of ours. I'm sure he put in a very good word for us.
Oh yes, I've been around a while. I've been told of your adventures.
Oh, good.
Don't worry, I'm not babysitter. I'm just here for help.
Yes, well, if he has given that indication, then I'm very much. You're very much welcome to join us in as much as you wish. In our forthcoming what would you call it? Adventures, investigations. Yes. So
Thank
yes, you're most welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate the formal welcoming to this team.
Yes.
What
Well
is
then.
the plan?
We are about to go underneath the palace, behind a waterfall, and into a tomb. A lovely, lovely fast excursion.
Right. I've not been to a tomb. I've not been to many tombs, not of late.
Oh, you'll get used to it eventually. It's good fun, bugger the daylight. I don't really mean that. But
We got a question.
What's your question, Orika?
Why are we going? What for?
because we've been commissioned by Iolanthra to go and have a wee investigate of that portal we lost Brixton in.
Yes, I was told about your missing party member. My apologies. My condolences.
Oh, who
Seem
told
like-
you?
Seem like
We've
You
got
hear things.
switching Zoom pictures.
God
Keep
damn
playing,
it.
I'll fix it up.
seem like dangerous place to go.
Oh yeah, it is. But
Oh God.
I'm quite happy to snob Iolanthra. Dala, are you quite happy to bear that cross?
Me not say not do it. Me say do it later.
Well, then
I
it
don't know
isn't
if we're
going to
going to be able to. Yes.
There isn't going to be a later.
No,
Yeah,
but
there
is.
once we go onto our other more important mission, there will be no turning back.
Yes, you're absolutely quite right about that.
But if we get caught in there, there'll be no turning back also.
That
My
is why
goodness.
we're going in disguise. Why do you think? Why do you think Aelar sent that armor over earlier? You and I are contractors with this team of blackguards.
Oh, that's a very good point. Nyla, do you have any means of disguise?
Just one moment, everybody. Just want to address the audience for a second. Forgive me, I'm going to move some video around on the screen. It's going to look ridiculous. But this is what happens when you're playing with Zoom and you get these weird, stupid dropouts that screw up your entire video layout. What can you do? So forgive me. I'll do this as quickly and as painlessly as possible.
Wildheart, whose chin are you promoting?
Pardon me, Nyla, if you've met Maith,
Yes.
has he commissioned you to do anything in particular?
At the moment, it's just to help you. If anything else happens, I pretty much just run myself.
Excellent. So you've been to the Isle, have you? By
Yes,
chance?
that has pretty much been my home for the last 10 years.
For the last 10 years? Oh, we just missed you then when we were there, I suppose.
Most of the time, I don't bother with new people, but I've been asked to help, so I am here to help.
Oh, excellent. Okay. And all is well on the Isle?
So far.
Okay. Good.
Although some idiot brought a ship to the island for some random reason. Not quite sure why that was there.
Oh, that was
I'm
us.
I'm not sure at all who would have done. Yes.
Me
Oh,
not
that was
say-
you.
Well,
That
you've
was
heard about our
very much
escape
my
from
idea.
Vaingate, so there's no need to hide it.
No, but I thought that I'd wonder how much you would tell me without me telling you how much I knew.
I've got
Okay.
I've got a good feeling.
It seems
about
to be all. It seems to be all spilling out. Then.
Me say let's go.
All right, well, you lot get in your armor so we can get in.
Okay.
All right.
Go on.
So you're putting on your armor? Is that what we're doing right now?
Yep.
Very good.
Nyla. Dala and Adrik were already in their armor.
Adrik and Orika, I believe, were going in as contractors because there's no orcs or dwarves on the Blackguard.
Orika, camera.
Are there humans?
Don't lean
In the
out of
Blackguard?
camera, please.
I mean, it probably doesn't matter if you're, in full plate or whatever armor they wear.
Of hair. I'm going to need to get changed out of that because I am utterly useless in those things.
Oh, don't you worry. I'm sure we'll find a nice way out that doesn't involve being, you being, squeezed into that armor.
Yes, thank you. It's quite. It looks a bit tight. Adrik, very quickly as well.
Ding. At the door.
Big bugger, these fucking visitors. I'll
Go
okay, so-
answer door.
Orika, you go to the door, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, behind the door you see Aelar standing waiting. He's standing there in a cloak. He casts his hood back. Orika, may I come in?
Of course, my lord.
He steps inside. Is my sister here?
Yep.
Hello, brother.
Gudael. Excellent. I have been attempting to streamline your journey through the palace so that you can get to the tombs more easily. The place that you're going, I've discovered it has a name. It is called the Necropolis, not surprisingly.
It's an ominous sounding name.
Yes, there is more than one necropolis, it turns out. The ancient kings and queens and royals here have always buried their dead beneath the palace, but this necropolis is adjoining the older... Well, forgive me, I have my things about face. This older necropolis adjoins the newer necropolis that is being used presently. There is apparently a secret door between the two. However, that's of less importance, seeing as you have already found a way in. I think it probably prudent that we continue to use the method that we have already seen works, rather than attempting to find our way through yet another labyrinth. What think you, companions?
Well, we've already got the armor. We already know where we're going. So long as we can bluff our way through the guards of the palace, it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
If we do need to find our way through, I do have the means of being able to find the secret door if we should need to go that route. But
I see.
I think we should be fine.
Very good. And you know what it is that you're planning to say to the guards when you get there?
No.
Not really.
I see. So you are indeed ready. Very good, then. I shall leave this in your capable hands. And he turns around and walks out. Good luck, Gudael.
Thank you.
They're improvising anyway.
Adrik,
Aye.
can I say the rest of this in Dwarvish as I pull him aside? When we get into the tomb where
You're thinking about the crown.
I think if might want to have a look around with it.
I'm on the same page, definitely.
Yes,
Definitely.
We'll cross that bridge if we get there.
Aye. But we're bringing in a bag with us anyway, so it's
Yes.
the best case scenario to see if we can see Brixton.
Yes, that's kind of what I was thinking, or if anything else kind of leaps out at us. Well, hopefully not literally, but
Almost
yes.
definitely.
Probably, yes. I'm not really looking forward to it.
Oh, don't you worry. There's more of us this time, so less is likely to go wrong, I think, anyway.
Right. I'm going to go powder my nose before we leave.
Do you need a hand getting in that armor?
Actually, yes, please. That would be
Alright.
much appreciated.
No problem.
Armor was
the rest-
never really my strong suit as a child.
And the rest of you would just see us huddled together, talking in Dwarvish, and then marching into Adrian's room together and closing the door.
They are particularly close, those two. Did we have any extra armor that perhaps Nyla could use?
If it would make it easier, I can turn into like this little buddy.
Oh. Would that
can-
make it easier?
I can just hide in someone's pocket.
We can make it look like we have a plethora of pets. Yes.
If not,
At this point,
can-
out of game. At this point, does Nyla know where it is that you're actually going? Have you explained it to her, what the location is?
nope.
Oh, I thought Adrik did.
Edric did say, a tomb.
They
under
went
the palace behind the
underground.
waterfall.
Right.
But that leads much through imagination. I feel like there's a lot of secret tunnels in this place. There tends to be lots of secret tunnels in many places.
Excuse me. Her brother's got a point. Lord Aelar has a point. What are we going to say to the gods?
I believe we look like guards who are higher ranked than they tend to be at the doors, and we'll just tell them it's none of their business.
But how are you going to tell them it's none of their business?
We'll say I'm on official blackguard duty and get out of the way.
So something classified, yes.
That is good, but you all must act like blackguard.
True.
You cannot act like you are timid. You cannot act like you are weak. Well, you would know this, my lady. You must act like you are in control, not them. Especially seeing it's a confidential mission.
Yes. So gruff, perhaps a bit arrogant. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, perhaps. He looks around looking for anybody who can hear him say that. That's what I'm saying. You are the boss. You must all, that are blackguard, you must all act like the boss.
Now, for the sake of the audience, and also for the sake of Nyla, who is clearly new here, perhaps we need to spend a minute to actually describe our characters to one another once more. So, Barry, tell us what Orika looks like.
Orika is 8 feet tall, which is unusual because he's a half-orc. He wears pretty heavy armor. He's got axes on one side of him and a big two-handed sword on the other. He is nothing but muscle, and he's got tusks, of course. And he is a tiny, weeny little bit green, just a little bit.
Right. Okay. So, Michael?
Adrik is a dwarf. He's 4'6", has got some very, very dark hair that he often ties back into like a ponytail, and a short for a dwarf beard, but it's still quite long. It's regularly cropped by his hand axes. He's got some dark brown eyes, brown like the freshly dug soil around a grave. He's quite sturdily built, but it's a wiry sturdy, like someone who is regularly out at sea or does manual labor.
So he's quite wiry and thin for a dwarf. He's not a stout, thick dwarf.
No, he's very, very accustomed to long, working a lot during the day through masonry or weapon drills. There's very little fat on him, if any at all.
Right. So I'm sort of seeing like if you were to take Gerard Butler and squish him down a bit.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Right.
I'd say he's quite handsome. Imagine a more Scottish David Tennant.
Right.
More Scottish.
David Tennant is Scottish.
Yeah, I'm aware. Now imagine David
More
Tennant.
Scottish.
David Tennant, but he's Scottish, but he's got a very soft face. Now imagine David Tennant's face was like hewn out of gravel.
So sort of like in between Peter Capaldi and David Tennant, just like mush them together. Okay.
Quite thusly.
Right.
And he wears like some now very beautiful dwarven plate. So somewhere between, it's got tones of bronze and artistically done verdigris on it, and on his left breast, above where his heart would be, there's a intricate rune, which if you asked him, he would call it his stone giant rune. On his tasset, he's got a frost giant rune, something that hangs down between his legs. That thing, I think that's what it's called. Helmet has a quite
Doily.
cool, not a doily. His helmet has a fin on it across the top, and across it's what looks like circuitry, which is his lightning lure rune. And that's more or less what Adrik looks like.
That's Adrik. All right. So Steve, tell us about.
So
Leith.
Leith is pretty much average height for an elf. He has sort of light greenish, bluish skin, and jet black hair. Quite unusual. He's always quite nervous looking, quite anxious, and is at this point is wearing furs, boots, and leather armor that he uses to change into various guises.
Right, and he's a very young looking elf, isn't he?
He's very young. Yeah,
very young. Right. Yeah. Okay, and anything else you want to add to that, or that covers it? Yeah,
I think that's about it. His eyes, from a distance, his eyes look like almost black, like the pupils look almost black, but they're just a very, very deep shade of brown.
Right. Okay, the irises and
the
pupils together. Okay. And Edryn Montcoff, tell us about Edryn.
Edryn is a rotund human. He's a poorly aged 50-year-old man. So he's 50, but he definitely looks at least 10 years older. He's got brown hair that's graying. His beard's starting to grow back again. He's got very sharp brow and nose. Sorry?
I said he looks like me.
What?
Rotund.
A poorly aged 50-year-old? I think not, Russell. I think not. I think you're too harsh on yourself, sir.
Right.
You don't look a day over 100.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, very, very barely physique. He always looks like he's frowning or in deep thought. And every so often there'll be Tup kind of just like rolling around his shoulder on his hands. And he's like possessively clutching a very worn book.
Right, okay. And Gudael, Joanna, tell us about Gudael.
All right. Well, I imagine her to look a bit like Zendaya, with the white hair that Nyla has. Probably it doesn't look quite as other as Nyla's, and I imagine her having maybe blue or purple eyes, and she currently has armor, but I guess she can't wear her flashy new armor because she's dressed up as a blackguard, isn't she?
Currently dressed as a blackguard, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But she does have some really nice new armor that will probably be a bit filigreed and quite shiny and.
Right. So that's what she normally will be wearing is her fancy flash full plate that she's just received as a gift from Iolanthra Imdrael. Right. Okay. Very good. So you are all armed up and ready to go, and this is how they all appear. Okay. So
if they're sneaking into places, there's detect magic key or a no?
I would not recommend using magic at all. Even if you can help it, you will get into a lot of trouble.
You hear Adrik yell from Edryn's room, "How do you know that?"
Personal experience. Just,
Nyla just smiles at him like, I've been there, buddy. It's okay.
Who's in the courtyard, by the way, right now?
Oh, good.
Who's actually in the courtyard? Because, like, as for the scene itself, you're in your apartment complex, which, as described previously, 6 rooms in a box with one room around in the center, essentially a space in the center that's a courtyard with a tree growing up through the ceiling out onto a tiled roofs that overlook the city if you were ever to go up there. So who's actually in the courtyard in the center between the rooms?
I imagine they all are except for Edryn and Adrik, who've gone into...
We're probably finishing up getting Edryn into his armor about now.
Right, so Edryn, you're getting dressed up as a blackguard right now.
Yeah, that's the plan, right?
Okay, and as formerly described as rotund, Does Edryn fit into a Blackguard's armor and uniform? I feel
making
that
it work.
It will be a tight squeeze, I feel. You're making it work.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of corsetting going on here.
All it needs to do is last us the walk there, and then the second we get into the tombs, he's just gonna rip it off. Yeah, basically.
You pull one little pin out and it just flies apart.
I'm just picturing
some sort of grenade.
Jim Carrey from Bruce Almighty just going.
Yeah.
We don't have a corset, so it's a series of belts Adrik's found and stolen, and just like tied them in like layers.
Right.
Yeah.
Who would like to suggest a check for this? I think the audience can suggest a check for this particular.
Edryn's been to enough family dinners to have to hold in his gut for long periods of time.
What are we going to make these companions roll to see whether or not his uniform explodes?
So good.
Does anyone have a suggestion there?
I was just saying before, if you needed to bring anything in but didn't want to have it on your person, I have this bag, but it do not pass them if they detect the magic.
Anything under 10 the armor explodes.
Okay, so what skill are we rolling there? Is it just a flat D20 to see if it stays on?
Strength?
Is it strength or dexterity, constitution, performance?
It would be
It would probably be performance, wouldn't it?
I think it'd be strength on Adrik's side to see if he can get the belt in place.
I actually think it would be more a constitution, because he's like trying to hold himself to hold his physiognomy together.
Just basically sucking it in.
Yeah, just.
Okay, so it's a constitution check, and the difficulty is 10, alright? So,
all right.
Before you roll...
All right, if things go wrong...
Don't roll yet. I just put the thing up.
I do have an inspiration ready to be used if needed.
Alright, roll. Suck it in.
Think then. Think,
19.
Oh, 19. Oh.
Too easy.
Alright, there you go, Edryn. No problem. You've done this before.
I had to do this on my wedding day, so...
Now you have to continue...
So it's
you have to continue playing. You have to continue playing Edryn now as William Shatner.
I am.
So
too
Max,
tight in the stomach.
Max, during this escapade into the tomb, you might have to make some more of these checks, depending on how long you spend having to screw around with these guys as they continually get stopped by guards and so forth. You see, so
that'll be good for the pretentious. We need to be somewhere.
Right.
I don't have time for this. Let's go.
Guys, you going to leave now, or you got more things you want?
Yep. No, we should probably leave.
Let's go. Don't know how long that's going to hold.
Do you need to go to the bathroom? Are you right?
No, it's him in the armor.
It's me in the armor.
You going to leave the apartments? Was that the consensus?
Just as I was saying before, I have bag of holding, so if anyone needs to put anything in there that they might need later but don't want on their person, it's all good. But again, we'll not get past guards if they use detect the magic.
All right.
And now we go.
All right. So you step out and you start heading towards...
Oh, wait, I'm going to wild shape into a weasel first, and then I'm going to jump up onto Gudael's shoulder.
Ah, so Gudael has a weasel on his shoulder. Okay.
It's like a snowy white weasel.
Tup's a little curious, like, it looks a bit familiar.
Right.
Hey, something about that form that just on the nose, but I can't quite get it.
Right. Okay, so you head off to the Palace of the Stars, and you head up through the city of Hemeth Tirith until you arrive at the vast gate that enters in. And you can see from here, as you're approaching, the enormous waterfall that cascades down from high above Hemeth Tirith, the High Brook itself. And it comes out across the top of the palace and then pours down between these two huge golden towers, square block-like towers. And there's this massive fortified wall that goes around you. You pass underneath that and into the palace, and around you is this set of gardens on both sides. You can see soldiers and guards doing military drills on horses on one side. You see gardeners on the other tending the very fine garden that's across there, and the flowers and what have you. You can see an orchard and flower beds. As you approach, a servant comes out and approaches you and says, "Lords and ladies, how may I assist?"
We are here on a mission. We need to get inside the palace.
Of course, of course. Why, if you may forgive me, I ask, why do you take this irregular route into the palace? Surely you would take the Blackguard's entrance. Is there a particular reason that you need to come through the front primary entrance, my lady?
We have people to see on the inside.
I see, of course. Forgive me for questioning your indubitable requirements. And she backs off. Please do follow me. And she takes you up the stairs. She turns back. No horses today, madam?
No.
Get to the gate, to the front door, and they open up the doors. And they allow you all in. Can you all make performance checks for me, please? Starting in 3, 2, 1 now. Okay, you guys are going really fast. I'm going to have to slow this down next time and get them to do them one at a time, aren't I? Otherwise the audience is going to miss all their performance checks. Okay, please hold the line while I go back and check on these. Check the checks. I have to check the checks. Gudael, 20. Amazing. You can have inspiration. Nyla, well, you're just being a small animal, so...
I'm a weasel.
Not too difficult. You're a weasel. Edryn, a 16. Yes, very good. Edryn... Oh, that's a different check. Adrik was a 10. Adrik... Why do you think you're not doing such a great job at being a blackguard right now?
Adrik's probably overthinking the role. He's not an actor, so he's like, all right, well, I've got to blend in with these blackguards, but I'm not one of them, so I've got to be demure, I guess.
Is he kind of overacting?
He's definitely overacting. It's baby's first day on stage.
Right. I see. Okay, so Adrik, they turn to you, and one of them, as you go through the gates, they turn to a book. Just inside the main door, there's this huge tome there, and an inkwell, and a quill. And the servant says, "If you would please just sign in here, please, ladies and gentlemen."
Gudael takes the quill and she signs Secret Ops Blackguard.
Wow. All right. Can you make I just would like to see a persuasion check. I'm just curious what your persuasion check would be.
Me too. Not good.
3.
I might use my inspiration and re-roll that.
All right, you can do that. And say thank you to our audience for giving that inspiration. Oh wait, I gave you that inspiration.
You did. That's a 15.
Oh, that's much better. Okay, very good. Okay, so you guys head inside, and you head down through the hallways and byways of the Palace of Stars, and you see the large megaron upon which the king is usually found when one is to have audience. And inside this room, as you pass through it, in fact, if you can roll perception checks for me, one at a time. Gudael. Gudael's perception check is a 15. Very good. Orika, I will throw a roll in there for you, mate. Orika is a 20. Wow, amazing. Adrik. I see Nyla was a 27. Adrik is a 6. Okay, so Adrik's pretty focused on stuff.
That was a natural 20.
Wow.
Adrik is the equivalent of holding up his lanyard going, "I am a guard. I am a guard.
I'm meant to be here. I'm a contractor. You can't throw me out."
So perhaps it might be a little bit more subtle than that, but still. Very good. Did we get through everyone's roles?
Nope.
No. Who am I missing?
2 more.
Me.
Oh, Leith. Okay,
Me and me.
let's get a Leith.
21.
21 and a Edryn.
13.
13. Okay. Well, pretty much most of you, as you go through the Megaron, notice at one end of the hall there are some actual black guards milling about, and also, if you roll over about 14, you will notice that the ceiling of this room, if you've not been in here before, has this huge mural on the ceiling, made out of, it's actually stained glass, and it represents the whole story of Sidarhael, the smashing of the moon by the Parkard comet, and the destruction of the moon into 7 pieces, and Corellon the Rathian leaving the world, Sehanine Moonbow being sent to the abyss, and all that sort of stuff. Nyla, you remember this room quite clearly. You've been here. It was 10 years ago that you were last in this room, and it was on that day that one of your closest friends, Ivariel, came to his demise, and that you lost your brothers and sisters not long after, and were unable to return to your homeland. And so coming to this room might even require a wisdom saving throw.
I can do that. Wisdom saving throw. 14.
14. Okay, you keep it together, but
There is just a single tear that forms at the corner of the weasel's face and strips down onto the floor.
right, and probably nobody will notice it because you're a weasel, and nobody's looking for tears on a weasel. So you are now on your own, and you're left to your own devices. They open up the doors to the wing of the castle of the palace that you are required to use, the west wing. And we're not trying to make references to the west wing. It just happens to be the wing that is in the west of the palace. And you are given entrance. Gudael, you just continue onwards, following out your mission.
Mm-hmm. I imagine we remember where the entrance to the place where we're going is.
Right. So after going down through this rabbit warren of various rooms for attendants, rooms for cooking, rooms for cleaning, rooms for all sorts of people, servants and what have you, you get down to a whole level that's actually below the floor at which the Megaron was at. And Gudael takes you all to this doorway where there are in fact 2 black guards waiting on guard, and they stand as you approach this door. Can you make perception checks again, please?
Sorry, just 1 second, Russell. Weren't we given a writ of something from Aelar?
Yes, you were.
Okay, just I imagine that Gudael's probably got that stuffed into a pocket or something.
Perhaps clinging tightly in her hand. Who knows?
Also true.
Indeed.
All right.
I like that idea.
Very well. So with perception checks, you notice that there is a kind of a... There is a loud roar coming from beyond this door. Those of you who have been here before recognize it as the sound of a huge waterfall up close. The guards are looking at you, you're looking at them. Orika, what are you doing?
I'm just doing what a good servant does, following.
Following? Very good.
Keeping my eyes and ears open.
Very good. Okay. You can hear the loud roar of the waterfall through this doorway.
We need passage.
They look at you. This door is to be barred, madam.
There was an incident here not long ago, and we need to go in with the Sniffer Weasels to look for the body.
You guys have to...
Sniffer
I love it. That's brilliant.
That's genius. Holy shit.
That is genius.
Can we give each other like inspiration? I want to give Joe inspiration for that.
Hashtag Sniffer Weasels.
I think Joe deserves inspiration.
I
for
think Joe,
Yes.
Joe definitely deserves.
I've got my own Sniffer Weasel currently.
Well done.
that. All right.
Oh, good
But
cat.
does she catch you all by surprise is my question. So perhaps a wisdom saving throw from everyone to not crack up or freak out.
Oh.
All right, I'm just going to get you to call them out for me, okay?
Oh.
So, Gudael, you don't need to make the saving throw because you were the one that said this. But Adrik?
18.
18 for you, Leith. Adrik?
Yep.
7.
7. Okay.
11.
Adrik chuckles. Nyla holds it together. Well, you're a weasel, so you don't even have to hold it together. Edryn?
21.
21. Perfect. Stone-faced, cold. All right.
Trying to hold it in.
Orika,
It's all in the core.
Orika, wisdom saving throw for Orika, plus nothing. But you rolled a flat 19. Very good. There you go. Flat 19. Okay, so Adrik, you let out this chortle, and one of the guards kind of looks at you. The guards themselves might also be caught off guard by this strange comment. So let me
So shoes on the other foot. The guards are off guard.
In response to Sniffer Weasel, Nyla will poke her head further out of the pocket and just have her cute little hands over it and just go.
The guards immediately step to the side and open the door for you, Gudael.
Excellent.
And for those of you that have not been here before, what you have in front of you now is this tenuous-looking wooden bridge. It's built upon a stone platform. One side of it has like a cloth curtain hanging down to sort of stop you from just looking down over into the waterfall. But at the bottom and between certain gaps you can see out, and you can see that you're now walking along the face of the waterfall, behind the waterfall. Does that make sense? Does everyone sort of have a gist of what I'm talking about? Below is about 800 feet down to where the waterfall crashes into the rocks and the water below. And you're walking literally along the open face of the front of the Palace of the Stars.
Adrik, a little help. All right. Adrik's gonna just flick a couple buckles off, so it just explodes off.
Okay, so you get through the door, and you get far enough along that nobody's going to notice anything, and you start to release your Blackguard uniform.
Release the human.
Release the human!
All right. So on your left-hand side is this faceless wall, except for further along you come upon some statues, which previously have been described. Yes.
I cast Dark Vision.
Before we get too far,
Yep.
Gudael takes out the bag of holding from somewhere under her armor and says, "Blackguard armor in the bag."
Oh, I'll just also get out my effects. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes,
Get
me
up.
too. I think I'd like to get mine out.
Yes.
Hammer and everything.
Oh,
I'll
excellent. Yes.
take out all my various magical items
Ah, yeah. Mace
And-
and shield.
and go
Nice.
Servants of the Fox and change my glamored armor into Servants of the Fox,
Right.
which
I
Nyla,
love
I'm
how
sure, will
extra-
recognize.
What if guards decide to come back in here?
Well, no, and we're going inside a tomb.
Yeah, but
We'll
what
need.
if they come back into and you got no
Oh, they-
armor on?
They've been assigned, so they won't be coming this way.
I'd rather take on Blackguard with our magic stuff than the undead without.
Okay.
Edryn, do you still have your sleep spell handy?
No, I didn't prepare that due to our placement in a very sleep-resistant city.
Oh, true. Yes, elves don't react to that. Sorry.
I do have another miscellaneous sundry collection of spells that I think will be particularly useful, sir.
While they're talking, Adrik is going to open up the statue that he did the first time he was here.
Right. And you're able to trigger the secret door, which slides open under some sort of arcane power, revealing a black darkness, an emptiness, a gap in the wall, a void space. It goes back into the granite.
I'm just gonna, gesture for them to follow him. But before he does, right, keep your wits about you. When the first time I came in here, I heard some whispering, and something was beckoning me deeper inside.
Well, I was about to say you could make perception checks.
Nyla has removed herself from the blackguard armor pocket and is now just sitting on Gudael's shoulder.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Fuck.
are you not having a good night, Michael?
No, I'm not.
Oh dear.
12.
12. Okay, yep.
12.
No, everybody rolled 12s for this, it looks like. Orika, perception. So it is a wisdom perception check. And Orika, you get a 15. So all of you can hear this sound emanating from within. It sounds sort of... Some of you might find it familiar, in fact. It's making this kind of noise. Is it cutting out? Sometimes it cuts out when I make funny noises.
It did a little there, but I got a good
the
start of the.
Yeah, it's this kind of ominous groaning noise. It sounds like it could be wind or it could be something else. You're not sure what it is, but it's almost has this sort of chill to it that kind of gets into your bones and into your head. Now I'm going to get you to make wisdom saving throws.
I'm gonna use my inspiration
Inspiration.
because that wasn't any good.
16.
16.
Orson's being a legend again.
Orson is amazing.
Okay, so Edryn, a 7 for... Is that the saving throw?
Now it's a 19 because I re-rolled with my inspiration.
I see. So everyone passed. Excellent.
Hey!
So you certainly feel the
Success.
pull of this this sensation pulling you inwards into this chamber, and as you step in, you notice light doesn't seem to reflect anywhere near as much in here. The walls seem to just absorb light. What light do you have right now? I mean, the door is presently open, so there's sunlight coming in, but as you go further in, beyond about 15 feet, it begins to just drop off into darkness.
I think we're all using our dark vision.
All right. So Max, have you cast dark vision? Have you?
I did say roughly 5 minutes ago I cast
Yeah.
dark vision. I don't know if anyone heard me there.
I did. Hear that.
heard you, I heard you, Max.
Oh, sweet. Oh, thank you very much.
Yes.
I also got my Mace of Disruption, which has a 20-foot radius of dim light.
Okay, nice. So the Mace of Disruption is just...
Oh, sorry, it's bright light for 20-foot radius, and then an additional...
after that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's pretty bright then. Okay, so Gudael is standing there like a frickin' angelic celestial being at the front of the crew right now with her Mace of Disruption held out before her, ready to smite things. Is that fairly accurate?
It is accurate, but she's having a bit of an aura, which means she's thinking, shoot, I'm going to have another seizure soon.
Oh no. Okay. Adrik, who's at the front here? Who's at the front of the line?
I think Adrik's probably leading in here. He and Gudael are the most familiar with this tomb,
Right.
and he opened the door and kind of led them in.
Okay, so Adrik, you're going first then.
Yeah.
So who's after Adrik?
I think Leith would try to be as close to the front of the group as he can.
All right. Followed by
I
Maxwell.
will try and be by Gudael as much as I can.
Right.
I think Gudael probably would have made eyes at Orika because she's recognized that he will look after her, and she's about to...
She's about to collapse.
Yeah.
So she's making signs that she's going to have a seizure.
He's getting the hang of this now.
Okay, so Gudael begins to kind of tremble and falls to her knees and passes out.
I'll pick her up.
Nyla will turn out of weasel form into a normal person.
Okay.
Or back into an elf.
So, Adrik, what do you do, having seen Gudael collapse, or you hear her collapse behind you?
Orika, do you mind carrying her?
No, I'll carry her.
Excellent, thank you. I need both hands free, unfortunately.
So, Orika, you pick her up and sling her over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah? Like a
she
fireman's grip.
Yeah.
Nyla's saying, is she okay?
Oh, Nyla, I wouldn't worry. It's fairly common.
Oh no! Don't worry too much about too much about Dala. She's quite all right. It's just a little bit of a turn was something that many of the higher in the wood elves
Orika look after
of this place. Yes. Ulrika has been assigned to look after. So
Yes,
everything should be.
I trust your judgment, and we shall head forward.
I realize it can look a little shocking at first. At first glance, I had the same reaction myself.
Edryn, standing in this
Howdy.
place, you feel this. Your thoughts wander to the crown that lays within the bag of holding, not so far from where you are, and this sort of pull towards it subconsciously. This desire to know what you might see here.
Okay. Edryn's gonna try hold that off until we get to the room. He's a little bit wary of the thing. He's also wary he doesn't want to take it out and start using it while Gudael is passed out.
Very well. Okay. So you guys all continue up through the corridor, and you get to a small chamber, which Adrik you recognize as being the room in which you destroyed the Bodak.
Is there anything else in here? Because Adrik recognizes that this is a place where a fight is likely to break out. So coming in, he's a bit more on his guard. Can I have a quick gander just to make sure that we're alone?
Perception check, please.
I certainly can.
Oh, that's a tasty 10.
Big fat 10. Okay. You're not really. You're not noticing anything out of the ordinary. Nothing seems different. Everything seems largely untouched from the last time you were here.
I don't know why you want to be there. All right. Continue to keep your wits about you. The last time there was another one of those things Orika slayed outside the Sufferance. So just keep your wits about
Are we
you.
anticipating a fight down here?
Oh, absolutely.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cast Mage Armor on myself.
I'm going to find a
Just
place
safety.
to put Gudael.
Okay.
Well, I'm seeing Orika put it down. It's like, I can't see anything just yet, but just stay ready. We should continue moving through the necropolis.
Okay, you keep moving through the necropolis, and you get to the point where the path splits into two. There's a left path and a right path in this ancient stone passageways. And you know that last time you were here, you went via the left-hand path.
We also backtracked and went the other paths before we lost Brixton. So Adrik knows it just loops into the single main chamber.
Right. That's right. Okay. All right. So in any case, which path do you take?
I'll just turn to the group. All right. So this is a false choice. We last time we were here, we went down both just to see, and they lead to the same place. But we went down the left last time, so it just feels right to me. What about you guys?
last time you were here,
Aye.
was this where Mr. Brixton
Aye.
died?
Well, the necropolis, aye.
Oh.
But both paths lead to the same place. Which is
see.
a really quite... That metaphor is quite out of taste when you think about it. And quite poor taste.
Well, maybe. I'm a little nervous about going down there now.
Sometimes it is best to be nervous. It keeps your wits about you.
Well,
But-
yes, that's a very good point.
But if you'd rather not go the same way that your friend went, we could always go right instead of left. But they go to the same place, so
They do. I'm not one to be superstitious about such things, so whichever way the rest of you wish.
They might not do the same thing all the time.
Just for the sake of keeping the tension and the drama going, I just want you guys to roll initiative, just in case anything was to happen. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but and if you can give me your initiative as I call your names out, that'd be very handy. So Edryn,
7.
a big 7. That's
Yeah.
a gentleman 7, I assume. Leith
Yes.
Mr. Lath,
Leith was a 17.
a 17.
Yes.
Adrik Fogdar,
17.
also a 17.
I mean, sorry, 7. God.
You cheating bastard. No, just kidding.
Well, I outed myself, so, it's fine.
That's true.
it was an immediate regret of saying the wrong number.
Because I wasn't thinking, I was just mimicking, like the animal I am.
Gudael, I'm going to roll for her just so that she has an initiative number, but while she's out for the count, she will miss her turn until and if she comes into anything.
I really hope it has a 7 in it because I got 27.
She has a 6.
Damn!
Orika, what is you? I'm rolling your initiative. +1. Dun, dun, dun. Wow, a 20 for Orika. Very nice. Very nice.
27 for Nyla.
Damn, God. Got some hot rolls tonight, Caitlin.
I'm sorry, Nyla, what was yours?
27.
27. All right. Very good. Okay. So, that's nice. So you're in this corridor and you're going to go left or right?
Left.
Left. The way that
Left
you
it
first
is.
went.
Left.
All right. So you begin to pace down the corridor. I'm assuming you're not really taking much trouble about stealth right now. Is that true?
No, I don't think so. Also,
I've got
Adrik's-
my staff out and I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
Ah. Do
So
you
everybody.
So we may as well.
Okay, so we'll get you guys to make stealth checks. If you do they know that you've cast this, Nyla? That's my question, because if they don't
Probably
know that,
not.
they're not going to try to be stealthy.
Probably not, but it's just a precautionary thing.
A precautionary
Unless
thing.
you
In which
tell
case,
us.
everyone who is not intentionally trying to stealth can make a stealth check anyway, but at disadvantage.
You have a +10 though.
With +10.
I have advantage on stealth, so do I just roll it at normal?
Yes.
I always have
But
disadvantage.
Leith, are you
Welcome to
trying to
my
be
life.
stealthy is my question. So
I'm not trying to be stealthy, and I just rolled a 5, so
Okay,
I'm
so
not,
Leith's
being
not being
in
very
any way
stealthy.
stealthy.
Alright. Disadvantage. Come on.
Trusting that the noise
that
of the
5, the Leith, the 5 is +10, so it's a
So
15.
it's a 15.
it's 15. Yeah.
Adrik got a 20.
Wow.
I got a 20 as well.
I got a 25.
Could have had a 31, but oh well.
All right, and Orika, stealth check. Stealth. Check.
Leith is just trusting that the noise of
Gonna be
the
a flat
of the
roll for
waterfall
Orika
is
because
blocking things out.
well, it's +10, so it's a 15. Okay, so remarkably, everyone is being very quiet despite not trying, and I guess Pass Without Trace has saved the day as you continue deeper into this underground tomb. You can hear the sounds of the waterfall begin to diminish in the background behind you, and further ahead you can hear this it sounds like one of those you know those I guess is it a musical instrument? It's a thing that you spin around on the end.
It's
of
called,
Yeah.
like a
It's an Australian thing.
it's called a bull roarer.
A bull roarer. That's it. It sounds a lot like that. Right. And everyone can make another saving throw.
Nice.
Wisdom saving throw.
Come on.
Gudael, make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, my rolls are coming home to roost. That's a tasty 15.
A tasty 15.
19.
Yummy.
Gudael, 13. Yep, you're good.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. A 10 is okay. So Nyla, you're like you can sense this other plane close to you, and it seems to you that maybe it's a way home. Maybe there's a way out of here. Maybe you can get back to your home world. If you just were to go to wherever the sound is coming from, it's calling to you. Leith was a 19, Nyla is a 10, Adrik's a 15, Edryn's a 12, Gudael 13. Yep, so you guys will save. Orika, wisdom saving throw. Oh, 4, Orika.
Oh no.
Oh, not another one.
Oh, not this shit again.
Oh no.
Orika, you can hear the sound and it is drilling into your skull and you need to get to it. You either need to stop it or you need to do something about it, but it's this terrible noise and the only way you can make it stop, the only way you can get rid of it is to destroy it.
Take out my sword. Put down Gudael first. Take out my sword.
As you're putting Gudael down, she's waking up, you notice. But that's not of any great importance to you right now, because import, should I say, for your concentration now is filled with this noise.
I go to.
Orika, what are you doing?
I'm also going to follow him.
I hate this thing.
What thing?
It
Dala,
must go. It must go now.
Dala, it's what happened to me last time.
Oh no.
Just keep an eye on them, stop them if we have to.
Okay.
I can hear a
I'm moving
humming.
towards it.
I'm also going to move towards it.
Okay, Orika, we're going to go together, okay?
Me no like.
Is
Me
he-
no like in head. Me no like in head.
It's a sound. It's a compulsion. You have to go towards whatever it is. Just stay close to them. Make sure they don't do anything. They can't help themselves.
He's picking up speed.
Right, so you guys come out into this large chamber. As you pick up the speed, you get to your feet, you start moving quickly now, and you come out into this larger chamber, which some of you will recognize, having been here before, that has this various pillars in the room. There's 5 pillars about the room. 4 pillars, my apologies, 4 main pillars, which Gudael and Adrik know to be the pillars of the elements. Behind 2 of these pillars at the back of the room is basically this shadow, just darkness. It just drops away into darkness and you don't know what's there. Your dark vision is unable to penetrate that space. On the floor, in the center of this room, is a circular rim which looks like the rim of a well, like a water well. And on the surface of that water well is a black, shiny, wet-looking surface that absorbs all light. It can't be shiny and absorb all light, but to all intents and purposes, that's what it does. Somehow it does both of those things at the same time, which is a little bit confusing. The other thing that's bizarre to you about this room, and Adrik, you've seen this before, as has Gudael, is that all color seems to be leaching out of every object, everything that you look at. The color just seems to be sapping away. Sound is a little muffled.
Leith is going to turn to Adrik and say, "What sort of condition did it put you into? I might be able to to cast something on Orika to
It was just a
to clear his
compulsion.
mind.
It was just a compulsion. I couldn't keep myself from following it, and I believe it came from that there in the center. He's going to point to that obelisk in the center of the room.
Right.
Do you feel you might have been able to be helped if you were in some way charmed or restored or anything like that?
I don't know.
In
All I knew is that I wanted to get there, and I didn't want anything in my way.
Can I have perception checks for anybody looking at the back of the room in the direction that Adrik has pointed?
Can I roll an Arcana check off that conversation, Russell?
Yes, you can.
Try and figure out if I have anything that might be of use. I rolled a 16, so Leith is trying to think of spells he might be able to use to try and undo what's been done to Orika. And he's thinking that either Charm Person or Lesser Restoration might be useful. Would they be?
Do you have Lesser Restoration, or do you know of it?
I have it on the staff.
On the staff. You could try.
Mm-hmm. I also have Bless. I was just wondering if I could use that on Orika.
Oh, I have it as a paid slot.
You can certainly use Bless on Orika. That's not a question of if you can use it, whether it will work. If you can use it, what it might do. It will work.
Depends on the dice.
I will attempt to use Lesser Restoration on Orika to try to remove this, whatever's compelling him.
It's also happening to Nyla, isn't it?
Yes, so I will...
Am I compelled to go there as much as he is, or am I just sort of got the feeling of, like...
Oh, you're pretty compelled also to move in that direction, yeah. Yeah.
Ulrika's probably made more noise about it, that's why I'm...
Nyla's just sort of walking towards it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
At this stage.
So Gudael's going to bless. I can bless up to 3 people. So I'll bless Orika, Nyla, and I guess I was the next lowest, wasn't I?
Now that you're all in the room together, and it's quite a large room, it's like 60 feet across, square-shaped room. How are you all standing? Are you near the pool? Are you away from the pool? Are you near the entrance where you just came in at this point, or what?
I'm keeping my distance from the pool.
Okay, so you're back against the wall, Edryn?
Yeah.
Not phobically so, but as trying to keep my distance while also keeping an eye on the slowly encroaching Nyla.
Are you touching the wall, or are you...
Nah.
No? Okay.
Nyla is just sort of inching her way closer to the monument.
The perception checks, did we get those?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me look at those perception checks.
16, 17, 15. 24.
Oh, did you want a perception from me as well, Russell?
If you were looking towards the back of the room into the shadow at the north wall.
I think Leith was too concentrated on Orika.
All right. Those of you that did roll perception checks, it looks to me like you all noticed there's this vague outline of an object there in the darkness. Adrik, you know it's there because it's the obelisk. It's this large black obelisk that's black in shadow.
Ultra black.
Ultra black.
Vanta black.
Right. And it's just sitting there, and it seems to be the source and emanation point of this sound.
Beyond that, I think back to what we're doing. Adrik is hovering around Orika. If we can't find a way to subdue what's happening to him, Adrik is prepared to enlarge and subdue him physically.
Okay.
What is that? What is that noise? It sounds familiar.
Let's not get too close.
She's just walking towards the obelisk.
Aelar, we'll
To get to the obelisk,
just
you have to go
move back a
around
little
the
bit.
pool in the center of the room. And as you get closer to that pool, you can make an Arcana check, Nyla.
Okay.
So,
Arcana.
Yes.
did the restoration seem to do anything?
Oh, you did cast a restoration?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, let's have a quick look at.
Oh, is it bless? So hold on. I will roll a d4 as well.
Spells. Let's have a quick look at restoration and see what it does. I'm pretty sure.
11.
All it says,
Yeah. Do you want to read it out to us?
all it says is you touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition affecting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Lesser restoration does not seem to have an effect.
Okay.
Sorry, Nyla, please continue.
It's a 10. You disregard the 1 because it's not a saving throw, it's just a check.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's very strange black liquid rippling in the pool in the well.
It just looks odd. It doesn't look dangerous or...
Depends what you think is dangerous. I mean, if you think drinking oil is dangerous, then yes, it could be,
She's going to ignore the water and keep walking towards the obelisk.
Okay, so you walk around the pool towards the obelisk.
Should we perhaps prevent what's going on?
Yes. You go ahead.
Adrik's going to stand in front of Orika and go, all right, that's as far as you get, big man.
Pick him up, throw him away.
You pick up Adrik and he enlarges.
He still lifts you, tries to.
Adrik is going to grapple and put you to the ground.
Seeing the shit that's going on, Edryn's going to be like, well, this can either go one way or one way poorly, and he's going to cast Hold Person on Nyla to stop her from hitting the obelisk.
Okay.
Okay.
Nyla, you're going to make a saving throw? I think you probably should, because it is your desire to get to that obelisk.
What saving throw would it be?
What's the
It
saving
would be
throw?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Oh, buddy.
It's worth
Dude,
a try.
It's 11.
11. What's your DC there?
Hills. 16.
16.
Hey!
Okay,
Hey!
so, Nyla, you find that you're unable to move. Essentially paralyzed, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Leith, could you pull her back? I'm rather focusing on this.
What?
Away from the obelisk, if you could get her away
yes.
from the... This is rather hard to focus on.
I'll help him to pull her back.
I've never used this before, so...
Someone else might need to look after Orika.
I think
got
Adrik's
him.
on top of that. Literally.
Orika, what are you doing?
I'm going to lift him up and throw him, even though you're going.
You're going to try.
Yep.
So, wait, okay.
can certainly
Adrik,
try.
you're trying to stop Orika, is that what's
He's
happening?
grappling
I have
me.
enlarged and I'm grappling him.
You're enlarged and grappling him. So how big are you? You're like
10 feet tall.
10 feet tall. Orika's like 7 to 8 feet tall. So he's quite large, but right, so this is a grapple check.
Right, and
So
I
you're
do
making-
this with advantage.
Okay, so you're making an advantage strength check. Orika, you're making a standard strength check. It's just a strength check, it's not a saving throw.
Yeah, right. So won't let me roll this twice. Ooh. Come on, do the thing. There we
Orika, luckily for you, you rolled an 8.
That is a 22.
Okay, so Adrik is holding you there, Orika. You're kind of surprised that this dwarf, who's just turned into a giant, is now restraining you. Do you want to make a wisdom saving throw, Orika, to see whether or not you decide to get violent with him, or do you have another solution?
Yeah. I will take a wisdom saving throw,
Wisdom
because
saving.
this is something he's never experienced before.
You fail that wisdom saving throw.
I throw him.
You're welcome to try.
Flip him.
All right, you're going to try to do that.
Yeah.
So this is another strength check.
Yeah, so I should lose.
You should lose, but let's see if the advantage actually helps me.
Well, he rolled a
Ooh,
19.
my God, that's going to be fucking hard to do. No, that's a 21.
21. Oh, okay. So you try to flip him. You make
Whoa.
a valiant attempt to flip this dwarf, this giant dwarf, but he outmaneuvers you there at the last minute.
I would like to punish him as a result. I'm going to leg behind his leg, and I'm going to judo him over my hip. Just slam him into the ground as hard as I can.
All right. Another strength check.
Whoa.
Yours is with advantage. Orika's is not.
Oh, son of
Orika
a... Damn,
rolls a
14.
Natural 20. You fail to throw Orika. Orika holds his ground despite your massive size and enormous strength.
What I'm picturing here is just like two wrestlers just trying to wrestle each other, but like neither of them can get up or down, and it's just like.
Right.
That's exactly
I think the size of both of them, it's more like sumo.
True.
Yeah.
Except it is absolutely all muscle.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you guys are closest to the front at this point. Nyla, you've been held back by the hold person. Leith, whereabouts are you right now?
I'm holding on to Nyla, trying to keep her from.
Okay, so you're actually
towards
gripping
the-
Nyla, and
Yeah.
Edryn's cast hold person on her. Gudael, what are you doing presently?
Gudael had just cast Bless, but she's changed her mind and she's invoking Coralon and Sahanin, and she casts a beacon of hope for everyone in the room.
Okay, all right. So you cast a beacon of hope. Can you give us a quick rundown on what that's going to do for everyone or to everyone?
The spell bestows hope and vitality. Choose any number of creatures within range. For the duration, each target has advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws, and regains the maximum number of hit points possible from any healing.
Wow, very cool.
Oh no. Oh no.
So that means advantage on trying to break out of it as well. So that's it. Oh, well, take some, you lose some. You know, it's a risk. It's a risk. We're gambling here. We're playing with fire.
Just so you know, I have +7 to wisdom. I'm a druid, guys.
So out of all of you, who is at the back, least visible, in the shadows?
Probably Gudael.
Oh,
Well,
no.
she's holding a mace that's emitting frickin' light like a light bulb
true.
right now. So
Yeah. We're all kind of struggling with each other to try and hold people back.
Edryn, you're not touching anybody though, are you?
No, I was kind of back with Gudael, so I don't know how much within the light I am.
Okay. Max, do you want to make a perception check, please?
Heck yeah, I'll do that. That's a 15.
15. Okay, you don't really notice anything out of the ordinary besides all of the unordinary things that are already happening. So there you go. At
Very
that
good.
point, however, Max, what's your armor class, Max?
It is currently... Let me have a look at my mage armor. It is currently 14.
Okay. Can you make a DC 14 strength check, please?
Right. Is
sorry,
this...
Sorry,
Was
it's a dexterity check.
Alright. So, is something physically attacking me?
It might be.
Well, because I might be able to cast shield and then my AC goes up. If it's a physical attack.
It is a physical attack, but it has surprise, so you don't see it
Right,
coming.
okay. So what was it? Dexterity?
Yeah.
7!
7, okay. Something wraps around your leg and begins to pull you over. Boom! You've just hit the ground prone.
Ooh.
And you feel yourself being dragged into the shadows in one corner of the room. Everyone else can make a perception check if they are facing Leith. If you don't feel that you would notice this, you don't need to roll. You know.
No,
I think
I'm too busy with Orika.
Why do you say that, Russell?
Would my hold person... Does anything happen to that?
So are you making a saving throw against a hold person this round?
Is it concentration?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Would you like to make a constitution saving throw to see if you lose your concentration on a hold person?
Ooh. Taking damage. 21 total.
Okay, you make your save. You hold your
And I
concentration.
would definitely not notice.
Are we rolling perception checks, Russell?
Yep.
Yep. 21.
21. Very good. You notice Edryn hit the floor and start sliding across the floor towards the darkness. But even as you notice that, Leith, can you make a dexterity saving throw?
21.
A spiked chain comes whipping out of the darkness from the other corner towards your legs, but you narrowly avoid it, stepping over it as it swoops past you and slips back into the darkness with a sound muffled by the whoa.
So this was a physical spiked chain. It wasn't like... Shit. And is there something... Can I see something dragging Edryn's leg?
A chain, yes.
It's a chain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chain reaction.
Gotta try and cut that thing.
It's actually Nyla's turn.
Oh, no.
Then I'm going to try and get out of this hold person.
So
Because...
you're going to make a wisdom saving throw?
Yep, with
At
advantage.
Excellent.
Break.
Okay. First one was 15.
All right, 15. So
Second one was a natural 1. I'm still held.
So that was disadvantage.
No, at
No,
advantage, my DC is still 16.
It's with advantage, but his
Oh,
DC
okay.
16, so I'm still held.
I'm
It
going to
is
get you
all
to make.
good.
You can make a separate wisdom saving throw against the call.
Oh god, please be better. 17?
That makes it.
Yay!
You've been shaken out of your trance-like need to get to that whatever it is. Orika, we're going to make you a second wisdom saving throw now as well. 11. Yeah, almost, but no.
He does get to do it with advantage with
Does
Beacon
he?
of Hope.
Oh,
This is true.
Beacon of Hope, he gets advantage. Okay, wisdom saving throw.
Come on, come on, come on. We don't have time for this shit.
Well, I should just like to say that, ta-da!
Yes!
17.
Ah, thank you,
Yay!
Dala.
Orika, the trance-like effect seems to withdraw at this point, and you no longer need to destroy this portal.
What? What's going on?
You
you're
haven't lost any time. You remember everything that happened.
No, I just don't know why I'm here fighting him.
Right.
What?
Oh, we'll explain it later.
Ah.
Okay.
Where's it? Do I-
Nyla, you made your saving throw, right? You failed the hold person save.
Yeah, I failed the whole person save.
Okay, but that doesn't mean you can't act, right?
Can I speak at
Is she
all, or is it...
paralyzed?
I'm
You are
paralyzed.
paralyzed.
So she can take no actions or bonus actions?
Does that prevent her from
I'm
speaking,
not-
though, Max?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't have the paralyzed condition right in front of me.
I've got it on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, I can check
Paralyzed
that.
creature is incapacitated, see the condition, and can't move or speak. Ah, bollocks. Never mind.
Can't speak. Can't do anything. I just look... My eyes just are a little bit wider going...
All right, so she's doing that. At that point, do you remember the figure that came out of the ceiling in the apartments that
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
Yeah, one of those guys.
These
one of the
these pricks.
Shadar-kai.
Do I see it?
Yes, you see it now.
I'm gonna go for that new chain.
All right. Well, before you do, it's that chain. That's going to be easy because that chain's coming to you. It's heading towards your face right now. And what's your armor class? Orika. Orika's armor class is 16. I'm afraid that 25 hits. You take 10 points of damage and make a DC 14 dexterity saving throw. It's a fail. It's a 4. At which point you take a further 26 points of necrotic damage, which really hurts. So far you've taken, how much was the first damage?
That was 10.
So 36 points of damage altogether.
Holy shit.
You have 29 hit points left, Orika. Okay? So it's less than, you've got less than half hit points. Significantly less than half, but still, 29 is still a good number. Alright, at which point our dear friend takes his second attack and hits with a 20. Does another 10 points of damage. Knocks you to the ground, prone. You're down to 19 hit points, Orika, and you're on the floor. Orika, it's your turn.
How have they got me? Where have they got me?
You got hit in the back, and you've been knocked on the floor on your front.
Okay, on my front. So are they around my legs or around my arms?
There's nothing around you, it just hit you.
Okay.
It didn't wrap around you, it just struck you and then pulled you to the floor, and then they've released the chain.
Okay, can I see my companion is kind of being dragged?
Which companion is this?
Edryn.
Check. Let's have a look. This is a disadvantage because you're lying prone on the floor. 9. I'm afraid not. You can't see Edryn. You don't know what's going on with Edryn. You're too concerned with your own business right now.
Okay, I'm gonna get up and move away.
Okay, so you use half of your movement getting back to your feet. That's 15. You've got your sword in your hand.
Yeah.
Are you moving away? Are you?
Is there anything to attack?
There is a figure standing in the
I'll
shadows.
take him
near
on
you.
because I'm in a pissed off mood now.
All right, so you're going to roll to attack this creature, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you still have? Does he have advantage from Bless? Ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
got dropped with Beacon of Hope, right?
Sorry, Beacon of Hope. Right, so that gives him advantage to his attack roll? Or
No, Bless dropped because of Beacon of Hope, so he doesn't get any.
Doesn't have that anymore.
Sorry.
Okay, so Beacon of Hope is not going to give him any advantage to this.
I can do that one that gives me 3
Yeah.
turns.
Yep, you can do that. Okay, so Orika, you take your great sword and you take a swipe at it with a 16 to hit, and you hit with your first attack. You do 15 points of straight up damage with your first attack. Alright. Yeah, you've heard it. Now it's your next attack, Orika. Are you going to go for 3 attacks on this round?
Yes, I'm really annoyed and really angry.
Well, the good news is you rolled a 19, and because of your feat, that's a crit. So, critical damage from Orika does 18 points of damage with your second attack. Smashing it. It's not dead. Then you're going to go for a third attack. Using up your...
Yes, I'll have to.
thingy. So you roll of 25 with your third attack. Also a hit.
Crit.
Not a crit because it's not a natural 20.
May not be a crit, but it does a hit.
It is a hit, but it's not a crit. And Orika, how much damage do you do this time? Do a further 11 points of damage. boof. So you smash it 3 times and knocks. So basically this chain comes out, swipes you across the feet, knocking you to the floor. Bang, you hit the ground. You leap back to your feet with your 2-handed sword, spinning in the direction that the chain came from, and you swipe at it, boof, 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 making slashes against his body 3 times, damaging it profusely, and it bounces back into the wall for a moment from your massive attack. Leith, it's your turn.
I guess I want to get the chain. Has anybody been grabbed by chains at this point?
Nobody else has been grabbed by chains except for, or who was it? There was a bit of
Edryn.
Max. You got grabbed by a chain. Yeah. Edryn is being dragged across the floor. He's almost to the shadows right now.
So there's only one, enemy that we can see.
Incorrect. There is 2.
Oh, there's 2?
There's one that's got Edryn, and there's one that has just been smashed the shit out of by Orika.
Okay, I'm going to fire... Oh, I'll fire... Well, firstly, I will hex on the one that's got Edryn.
Okay. And what disadvantage are you going to give it?
Dexterity.
Dexterity, okay.
And I shall cast Eldritch Blast, 1 on each of them.
All right, very good. Roll to hit with your Eldritch Blasts, please.
First one's a 9.
That misses.
Second one is a natural 20.
Ooh, critical hit. And the second one is on Leith's or Orika's?
It would be Orika's.
Okay, so natural 20, critical damage, dice for...
Critical damage...
The creature we shall call A.
Is 11.
Okay, so total damage is 11. Very good. Okay, Leith, do you have any bonus actions or other actions or movement that you would like to take?
The hex was the bonus action.
Very, very good. Okay, at that point, the one that has Edryn continues to pull you towards him, Edryn. That's going to be its action. Adrik.
Which one is closest to me? The one that Orika's
Orika's one is closer right now. You could move to either one.
How far away is Max's one?
30 feet.
Oh, I've got 25 feet of movement.
It's probably 30 feet in either direction, to be honest.
Okay, I'm going to head 25 feet towards Max's one, and then I'm gonna use my both attacks to throw my hand axes at it. So
okay.
First attack.
As you do,
that is a crit.
Right, crit with a hand axe. Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
So I get as I'm running, huck this thing right at it, and
okay.
That does.
This is Leith's one, right?
This is Edryn's one, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Edryn's one. Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
15 damage to it.
Yep, 15 damage on that guy, and I'm going to add my big boy damage to it, so it's an extra d6 on that.
Okay.
Oh, fuck me. That's okay. Well, that's an extra 2 on that, so it's a total of 17 damage on that guy on that swing.
Yep.
I'm gonna throw my second hand axe.
Okay.
Oh, it was sitting on 17.
11.
It's 11.
Okay,
that does not do it.
Hand axe flies into the wall and goes chunk and lodges into the granite wall.
I'm going to... Well, like I said, I'm going to use my action surge, and the runes on my helmet are going to glow in its general direction, and I'm going to fire lightning lure at it.
Right, go.
So
is it a saving throw for me, or...
Saving throw for you. I need you to make a strength saving throw of 13.
Haha, they fail.
Brilliant. Because I am over fifth level, you take 2d8 lightning damage.
Right, this is the same creature?
Yes.
2d8 lightning, roll.
That is a 15. 15 damage on you. And you are pulled. I'm going to pull you right into me.
Alright, so you pull him right out towards you. Okay, very good. Between you and him, at this point, is the pool.
Yes.
And as you pull him towards you, he gets dragged straight into that pool and begins to look around as slowly he just goes into the water and disappears.
I'm going to look at Orika's wand, who's just been slashed to shit. You're next. And that ends my turn.
All right. Edryn, you're now...
Edryn,
you're now free.
I'm now free.
But you
How
are
far
prone.
away is Gudael?
You are prone. She's 20 feet away.
How far away is Nyla?
She's 15 feet away.
Okay. I'm going to use half my movement to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use the other 15 to go over to Nyla.
Mm-hmm.
Look at her.
Mm-hmm.
See her bulging eyes.
That's a free
action drop. Free action drop. Hold person.
Okay.
And then I'm going to... I'm just quickly looking at my spells because I was not expecting to be free so quickly. I'm going to cast Hold Person on the big scary thing that's attacking Orika.
Okay. So it's oddly, when you look at it now, you're seeing that it's this very pale-looking elf with a kind of sullen, sunken look to it. Its skin's very pale. It looks almost corpse-like, almost like what you would expect from a mummy if you were to unwrap it.
Okay.
It's wearing black leather armor, and it has a lot of spikes and things. It's quite bondage, actually.
Fun. So I'm going to cast Hold Person on it, so it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw, please.
Wisdom saving throw. Wisdom saving throw. Fails.
Fails, so they are now paralyzed.
All right. Is Hold Person considered to be a charm?
I don't believe so. It doesn't say that they're charmed, it just says that they're paralyzed. It's a different condition to charmed.
Yep, for sure. Okay, no worries.
So
okay.
I think
it freezes up. And drops the handle from the chain. It goes loose in the hand. There's just a ring sitting in its hand. I guess like that.
And then I tap Nyla on the back and I say, "Go get him."
So Nyla, you're now free.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but Gudael, it's your turn.
Okay. How far away from Orika am I?
20 feet.
20 feet. So
Can you make a perception check?
Oh, yes. 13.
13. Okay, you notice this hand come out of the pool of water and start to pull. A head starts to come out, and it's the creature that Adrik just threw in there.
Okay. Then I will hit it with a guiding bolt, please.
Okay.
A 7.
That's a roll to
Dang
hit.
it!
A 7?
No, 7.
It's prone, so you have advantage.
Oh, does that mean I can roll again?
It does.
Thank you. Oh, that's bad. 18.
18. Okay, well that's a hit.
And the damage is that
25 by the looks of it.
25.
25 points of damage from guiding bolt. Wow, that is some serious damage. I had no idea. Excellent. Do you have any bonus actions or other actions, other attacks, ninja moves?
I'd like to run over to Orika,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay, is that a touch spell?
It is. That's why I have to run over to him.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, so you're casting Cure Wounds, so he automatically gets maximum hit points because of your spell, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Which is how much?
Let's see. I rolled a...
Well, you don't need to roll. Just tell me what the maximum hit points that he could possibly get from that spell is.
Yeah, it's a 2d8 plus 6.
2d8 plus 6. So 2 times 8 is 16 plus 6. It's like 24?
24, yeah.
24, okay. So he gets 24 hit points back.
Okay.
Woof. You're back to 43 hit points, Orika. All right. Very good. That's your turn, Gudael. Nyla. You've been
Yay, I
freed.
finally get a turn.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Nyla is going to cast Daylight
Okay.
at 3rd level in the middle of the room so that we can see everything that is going on.
Right.
Where is it gone? It's a 3rd level spell.
Okay.
Yep.
That's your action or bonus action?
It's my action.
Okay.
So a 60-foot sphere of light spreads out from a point of you choose within range, which I pick the center of the room, and then after that 60 feet, an extra 60 feet of dim light is there. So anything that is shadow is there.
Right.
If any spell's area overlaps an area of darkness created with a spell of 3rd level or lower, that spell has dissipates. So there's no magical darkness left in this room.
Okay, so the magical darkness is torn from this room, and what you suddenly see now is there's one figure, this one creature standing in front of Orika presently, very, very hurt, and another creature sort of most of the way out of the well. The daylight fills this entire space, taking away all the shadows. But as you do that, the dark, shadowy space behind the obelisk is now lit up, and it begins to collapse, and suddenly all of these wraith-like figures start streaming through the room, past you all, over your heads and around you, and pouring into that space to get away from the daylight. Dozens of them. And
what did I do?
They all fall into that inky black darkness as that darkness begins to evaporate from your spell. The surface of the water goes very flat, other than the fact that there's this creature coming out of it, and he looks up, looks at you, and then just drops back in again. And you just see him fall away. The last one that's in front of Orika is going to probably try to make some sort of an attack because it has no other options, but it's not its turn.
It can make... It is paralyzed if it is its turn.
Oh, that's true, it is paralyzed.
And it can make a
Saving
wisdom
throw.
saving throw at the end of its turn.
Right.
And Ulrika does say something to it.
Right, one moment. So, did you have any other actions or bonus actions, Nyla?
For bonus action, I am going to take a starry form. So Nyla's body begins to glow with constellations, and she is going to activate the archer, which means as a bonus action you make a ranged spell. On activation, as a bonus action, you can make a ranged spell attack 60 feet, dealing 1d8 plus 4 radiant damage. So I'm going to do that towards the scary dude.
So you're making a roll for a spell attack, yeah?
Yes. Right. Do that. Oh wait, I've only got the one bonus action to turn into starry form, don't I?
Yes.
Okay, then no, I can't do that second. Oh, I'm confused by this.
It sounds like you get an attack.
I think I get an attack with it.
Seems a bit pointless to have it if you don't get an attack with it.
Yeah, so I get to roll a roll attack. So I'm rolling a d20.
Is it with advantage if they're paralyzed?
I feel that it should be. I mean, it's like being prone essentially, except you're standing up. Should be easier to hit something standing up that can't move than something that's lying down.
+9
My
to spell attack.
View of things, having waved a few swords around in my time.
16 plus 9.
That is a big fat hit. How much damage do you do?
1d8 plus... Oh god, everything's hiding from me. I apologize. I will get this down a lot further. 1d8 plus 4, so 1d8. Um, 11 damage.
11 damage. All right. That's 11, not 111, Russell. Very good. Okay, so Nyla, that's your turn.
I mean, but it could be 111. You're basically God. You could just go, now this does ultra damage.
I'm not God. I'm merely God's arbiter.
Nyla has Super Saiyan and does 101 damage.
Right. Okay, so wisdom saving throw from the creature. It fails with a big 3. So it's still frozen, still can't move. Is very hurt. it looks like the burn from the radiant damage is quite considerable. Orika, it's now your turn.
Orika says, "Not a good day for you," and attacks him again.
Attacks it again. Okay, well, this is with advantage. I almost feel this is perfunctory at this point, but an attack with advantage. Roll. Let's see what that was. 22 to hit. That hits. All right. Damage from Orika. This great sword. 12 points of damage. Orika, how do you kill this shadow dancer?
I literally say, "Not a good day for you," and spin around and take his head off.
Woof! Okay. And his head goes clattering across the floor. And it lands halfway between you and the well as the body collapses to the floor in front of you. Clatter, clatter, clatter goes its chains and its weapons. I shall take this moment to powder my nose, ladies and gentlemen. You may talk among yourselves as you stand in character over the body and in the well and in this room filled with 60 feet of amazing daylight.
Russell, just before you go,
Sir.
The Shadar Kai that I pulled into that I kind of threw into the well.
Yes.
Did it leave behind its chain weapon?
It did. Part of it. In fact, its chain weapon is hanging into the well.
Adrik's gonna just so you know, Adrik's gonna go and pull it out of the well.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
God damn it!
You're stopping me from powdering my nose.
This is also true. That's an 8.
An 8.
I just wanted to pick it up so I could get on with the scene.
You take 5 points of cold damage from it.
But do I pull it out?
You do pull it out.
Cool, that's it. Cool.
Well, that did not go as expected.
Rolling it up in my hand.
Was this Mr. Adrik what previously happened?
No, not exactly. First thing we fought here was one of those ghosties that a good friend Orika destroyed in the ruins outside the Sufferance. Second was a wraith, which is where we got that crown from. And then this room was empty. And we couldn't find what we needed to do here. We did some research, and then Brixton could see no other way to find more information but to go inside there. And he gestures, nods toward the pool. We tied a rope around his waist, and I braced myself against the wall. Dala helped, and the rope couldn't take it.
It's suddenly dawning on Leith. So this is where Mr. Brixton passed.
I decline to use I decline to say he died, because.
Well, I'm not saying that he died, but passed from.
He passed through the portal.
Into the veil. Aye.
Yes.
Again, condolences for your friend.
Leith will go to the edge and look down and sort of just take a moment.
Edryn is going to limp over to Gudael, rubbing his coccyx, because he took quite a hard fall.
Would you like me to have a look at, maybe not a look, but heal that for you?
I'm fine. I didn't take any damage. It was just a bit of a scrape. But I was inclined to do this earlier, but I didn't want to do it without you being present. Looking towards the bag of holding, do you trust me?
Trust you? Implicitly?
Then, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to go into the bag of holding.
Okay.
Tentatively say, Crown of Shadows. Right, I'm going
Mr. Edryn,
I'm going to have a look.
Edryn, please be careful.
Yes. Adrik, you know what to do.
That's all right. I'm right here. And Adrik's
Alright.
going to just, in his giant form, just hover over him, giant mitts over his shoulders. You're all right.
Mr.
Very good.
Mr. Adrik,
Aye?
you want I should give you a hand, keep a watch with you, just in case he's too strong?
I don't think I'll have a problem. Don't you worry.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry,
Also,
what is happening?
Miss Nyla, if anything happens, apologies for the short-lived introductions, and I swear I'm a very lovely person in real life. And I put the crown on my head.
You put the crown on your head. Very well. And immediately your vision changes from natural vision to something else. Best described, I suppose, as true sight. As you look about the room, your eyes are now able to penetrate what shadows are left, which are virtually none because the daylight still stands, am I not correct?
Yes, it lasts an hour.
Right. There is no other entity in this room that you were able to see, and any traces. There are a few traces of some sort of eldritch magic wrinkling away into the fabric of the wall on the far side of the room presently, as that portal closes. The surface of the well is emanating a very deep purple color presently, and looking into it you can see in the reflection it seems like you can see this other landscape, this very dark landscape. You can see mountains, you can see this path winding through that landscape, the branches of trees in the foreground like it's winter, like winter trees with no leaves, just the silhouettes. You can see the sky has this sort of aurora borealis, but there's nothing pretty or comforting about it. It's quite a stark, frightening kind of a sense that you're having from it. There are no stars.
All right. And there's nothing else in the room. The obelisk isn't looking sus, and there's no archway.
The obelisk now you see has a reflection as you glance up at the obelisk from there. There is an archway behind the obelisk set in the wall, and that's where that dark shadowy space was. The archway there, and you can see the giant runes around it emanating in a circle about it, clearly still magical, clearly filled with power, ancient eldritch power. The obelisk itself you see is actually reflective now that you're looking at it with true sight. How close to it do you get?
I will tentatively start moving towards it until such time as something negative happens. But as long as nothing bad happens, I will get right up close to it.
Can you make a perception check?
Dirty 20.
As you approach the obelisk, you see something moving in the reflection, which at first you assume is your own reflection. But as you get closer, you realize it's something else moving on the surface or in the reflection somehow. And then suddenly you realize that what you're looking at is a giant draconic eye glaring at you.
I would like to, in Draconic, which I speak, say, hello.
Hello. Okay.
Or whatever greeting might be traditional for a Draconic thing. If I've read any Draconic sagas and people introduce the whole...
You have this feeling. Can you make a wisdom saving throw?
Of course. Is the beacon still up?
That only lasts for a minute.
All right.
So I don't know.
It is a
Would that-
15.
Is it still up? Let's see. Yes, it is.
All right. Well, always good to get a higher number, and it's the exact same. 15.
You feel as if something is attempting to rifle through your thoughts and memories.
I would appreciate you not doing that. That's happened too many times to me personally, and I feel like it's a bad foot to get off of.
As you are thinking this, you begin to see this vision of this book. You know the book, the giant book, the great book, the book of what was his name again? Israel, the book of Israel. You have this vision of that book, and it's in this empty, dark space, almost emanating its own light. So its pages are brightly colored, brightly lit. And these black tendrils are flicking through the pages, and it feels very personal, like the book's your mind now. Somehow that book is you, and it's your mind, and something's going through your mind.
All right. This is getting a bit invasive. And I'm going to try to take the crown off.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
You have a -1 penalty now.
21 total.
You take the crown off.
Adrik, you said hello in Draconic.
No, I didn't.
Gudael, do you speak?
Oh, sorry, Adrik Edryn. I do, but I don't know who people are. Edryn, you said hello in Draconic.
Yes.
Who are you speaking to?
And I quickly hand it back to Gudael, the crown to put in the thing.
Okay, spooky crown in the bag.
Well, now it's going to be a little bit less intimidating when we want to interrogate someone and we have to go spooky crown to get it out. I just obviously. There was a draconic-looking eye in the obelisk, and so I tried to talk to it, and it got a little personal, so I stopped.
Honestly, I feel like spooky ground is an apt description.
It is actually, yes. I've put it in my personal notes, spooky. That's about it so far. That's all I've got. But the runes around the arch are still very much there in terms of magical capabilities. So if we want to research and flee, I would definitely support that course of action.
Adrik shrinks back down to his regular size because time's up. Orika, Nyla, how are you feeling? I know that whatever that does to you, it's not pleasant coming out of it.
I'm okay. Yes, I don't think it fried my brain too much. Not that it's much brain to fry.
We know like place want to go.
Well, sorry, what was that, Orika? No, we'll be out of here soon. Yeah, Dala, do you remember what Iolanthra wanted us to do while we were here?
I believe we need to look for the archway and investigate if it had something to do with my vision, didn't it?
Aye, it was something relating to the giant runes on the archway in your vision.
That part, should we see if any of the runes from my vision match the runes in this room?
Wasn't it about finding the key?
We've already got our way in to the Saffrons. This is something else entirely.
Oh.
Because Edryn said there was an archway behind the obelisk. Did he not?
There is. You can see it now because of the daylight.
And can we see the runes, or could only Edryn see that?
No, you can see the runes, but you can't see them emanating magic the way he could see it.
Ah, okay.
You can see the physical carvings.
Okay.
What do the runes above the archway say?
What do they say? Very good question, Adrik. You're asking me difficult questions now. What do they say? What do the other ones say? Basically, it was a...
2 seconds to find my...
Dark testing, Heim, Opsolv, Alv, Hild, Mat, Dalet, Baird. Temple,
okay, so
Fortress.
you recognize the name, the word Dalet again.
Dalet.
Can you make a... Adrik?
I certainly can. Man, I'm rolling like shit tonight. 14.
14.
I'm the giant expert. I meant to know this stuff.
The runes say in giant... Was it 14 you got?
You got a 14, yeah.
The tomb beneath the sufferance.
Tomb beneath the sufferance. Oh, we already knew that.
It's more obscure than that. It's in giant, and that's one interpretation that you can make from it.
That's a pretty good way around that, actually. Yes. That's what it reads to me. Dala, what do you reckon? I need another giant reader here.
Okay. Shall I roll an investigation?
Hmm? Yep.
11. 13. I rolled less than...
You advantage because you're helping each other?
I could go again?
Yeah, go for it, Adrik.
Thank you.
I shouldn't have done that. That's 12.
They're very tricky runes.
Everybody else can make an Arcana check.
Well, I suppose we know that this room must have been built after the sufferance.
Roll 20 for a 22.
Yo.
Nice. 19.
I rolled a 1 for a 2.
Nice. I rolled a 12 for a 19.
Well, Nyla, clearly to you, the words on the name on the archway. This is the address. This is where you are. So, the name of the archway is the name of the location that you're at.
It looks like it's the postal address of where we're standing. I don't think it's anything special.
So if we were wanted to a town in here, we'd have to write that on something, whatever the hell that would be. Don't know why we want to come back.
Something like that, yes.
There are 4. The address is made up of 4 words.
I don't read giant, so I don't know what the words are. I just sort of claim that this is what that means.
I just I write the 4 words down for reference later, whatever they are.
Okay. So you write the 4 words down. One of them is like below. One of them is tomb. One of them is suffer. And one of them is gate.
Okay.
So there you go.
Even better. I gained a freebie.
So it's the gate beneath the gate in the tomb beneath the suffering.
Mm. So the archway that I saw in my vision, that one is... I wonder if it's a gateway to Sehanin's temple? Because she would be the silver elf mother?
That's as likely an answer as we're going to get, I reckon.
I feel like it's worth a try.
Adrik, please make another Arcana check. Please don't
Adrik.
fuck it up.
Investigation or Arcana?
You choose. But I want to give this to you. I really want to give this to you.
I really want to have this.
Right.
So if the RNG gods give it to me, they gave it me a dirty 20. So I know everything now.
They gave you a dirty 20. Okay, so Adrik, there are 4 pillars in the room. Each pillar, has a hole in it. There are 4 words in the address.
Adrik
pillar,
may be very smart, but Michael is dumb as hell.
Each of the pillars represents an element.
Yep.
4 letters in the archway has the address. The address is made up of 4 parts.
Right.
The holes in the pillars.
Yes.
The pillars.
Adrik says this, what you just said out loud. He's just musing with himself.
There's something about that whole connection that is
Can
there.
If you feel like it's the 4 elements, I feel like the holes, if we put like a symbol of the element into the pillar, it might open.
Well, the pillars represent each element already.
Right, so what I'm saying is if we... Right, so what I'm saying is if we put like a little bit of fire in the fire one, it might work.
No.
Russell, your puzzle for 2-year-olds is too advanced for us.
Well, there are the
No.
keys that
If you
get us
take-
into the sufferance.
If you take the things from the pillars and put them
I think we
to
might need the
door,
4
if
keys.
you take the things from the pillars and put them on the door, the same thing from the door, then it might open the door.
The pillars have holes in them, right? So we're supposed to put something in those holes, not take something out of those holes.
And there's 4 keys that led us into the sufferance. The big things that we saw the depiction of, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we don't have the keys.
Looks like we're going to have to get the keys then. If we want to access this.
What?
It's going to be difficult.
Isn't this what we came here for?
Gudael, you can make an Arcana check.
Do you have keys to this door, or are we just here for scouting mission?
Scouting, yes.
Can I go up to one of the pillars and just sort of investigate it?
You may investigate the pillar.
Russell, we really want to get this. We're so sorry.
I feel it would be remiss of me to just hand it to you at this point.
15.
15.
There's 6 of us. Surely we can figure this out.
Nyla, okay, Gudael, what was your check too? I want to know what your check was.
It was an 11.
Oh dear, never mind. Okay, Nyla, our hopes rest upon you. What are you investigating about the pillar? What is it about the pillar that you're looking at?
Well, we know that the pillars are 4 element type things, and then there's 4 address things on the archway.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see if there's any similarity in design or feel about the pillars versus the 4 words on the pillar, and just see if there's a connection between them.
Right.
Things in the archway, on the archway round?
Are they round? They would fit inside of a round space.
Oh, so sorry.
So
Wait,
Orika goes, take those and put them in those.
Hold on a minute. Things on the pillar can't be moved. That's just writing. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I was
No,
imagining.
I
It's like
know
it's
that.
writing on the edge of the thing.
But the
Right.
circle in the pillar, the hole in the pillar, can the thing on the archway be taken off and put into those?
No. Nyla, what you do notice is inside the hole, now that the room is filled with daylight, you can see a bunch of carvings inside the hole, which you cannot read.
Does anyone speak these things? I can see some carvings.
Adrik's going to toddle over and see if he recognizes the inscriptions.
Well, it's giant, oddly enough. So yes, you can read the inside of it. But it looks like a bunch of nonsense. You can make an Arcana check. Leith.
So from that time, Edryn and I went to the library and did that study.
Right.
I have written down about 4 elemental keys.
Right.
Which have 2 parts each. One physical item and one verbal. Does this relate? Does Leith know if this relates?
Yes, it seems to relate. It seems to feel connected to that too. Yes.
Yeah, those are the 4 keys that they have to go around the sufferance, right?
Right.
Same 4 keys?
Seems reasonable. Yeah.
Okay. So Leith will verbalize that we need 1 physical item and 1 verbal component for each. So the verbal component is clearly what's written above the door. Where do we get the physical items from?
Okay.
So what did Adrik get with his 22?
Adrik, 22, was it?
22.
Okay. Well, it seems to you, Adrik, that this is about orientation of the key. Something about the key fits into this hole and can be turned inside the hole, having different meanings. So you have the feeling that from what's written in here, once someone slots something in here, you can align it up in different ways inside the hole, possibly creating maybe different addresses.
Oh, that's quite clear, actually. So once we get our hands on the keys that Leith just mentioned, if we slot it in here, we can change, the way the door opens, depending on how we twist the key.
So this door would go to different places dependent on the configuration of the keys.
Aye, that's it.
Oh.
Gudael goes to run her hands through her hair and touches
pulls out
her
a key.
Well, almost. She touches her apple blossom hair thing that she painted. Do we know what the keys look like?
Not that I can recall.
Well, no.
Edryn is going to conjure up a 3-foot representation of what he thinks it might look like from the design that we've got.
All right. Gudael
a little
grabs
like
it.
this.
Orika, can you make we're going to make you make a wisdom throw. Orika, wisdom. Here we go. It's a 13. Orika, something. Do you remember when you went to take Ren into the Sufferance, and you went on the boat with them, and they had this box with them that was about 3 feet by 2 feet, and they never opened it. You never saw what was inside it. But whatever it is that Edryn is conjuring up with this spell presently, he's making like a holographic representation of it using magic. Is that correct?
Oh, it's physical.
It's physical.
It's conjuration, so it is a physical
total
block.
Physical conjuration. Oh wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like that would fit inside that box.
That looks like it would fit inside the box.
So, when we go inside the Sufferance tomorrow, all we have to do is mug the guards.
Pardon?
All we have to do is get the box off the guards when we go into the Sufferance tomorrow.
You...
To get whatever's the key.
You is a moron. There are some... They will kill you before you even touch anything.
And it was a suggestion.
Wait, are you guys wanting to go back into the Sufferance?
That's kind of why we're here.
It seems to me like...
Gudael gets at her Nolzur's marvelous pigments and starts painting a copy of what Edryn conjured up.
Okay.
But the thing is, methinks, you conjure up key, right? But,
hello? Yes.
But you don't know if that key is the key.
Oh, it's definitely not. It's just a physical representation.
Yeah, but it might be the wrong physical representation.
Oh, most definitely. But now we have an idea of vaguely what it might look like.
Well, it's big enough to fit in the same box size.
Edryn, is there a finality to how a duration for this thing that you've created?
The object disappears after 1 hour when you use this feature again, or if it takes or deals any damage. So if I try to bonk someone over the head with it, it disappears.
Right. Okay. Or after an hour.
So you've actually made the key.
Yeah, no larger than 3 feet on a side and no more than 10 pounds.
Right.
Why not try it?
Oh, no, that's stupid. We don't know what it will do.
It would make an excellent decoy, though.
Yes,
Their
well, I have
dream
an
could
idea.
come true.
What
You
if
could
we all...
flood the sufferance.
What if we vacated the room, we mage-handed it over, and just gave it a little twist?
Excellent.
I think it's a silly idea.
What do you think of my copy, Edryn?
Oh, that's wonderful. That's actually quite well done.
Excellent. I'll give this to you, Leith. You can use your mage hand with this one.
So this is what happens when she paints with this pigment. The thing that she's drawn becomes real.
Oh,
It
that's
lifts
very
up off
good.
the page.
We do need all 4 keys, though.
Yes.
And the trouble is, you don't know what they will do because they're not the real ones.
Did anything in my studies show what these would do?
You can make an Arcana check for me, please, Leith.
18.
Okay, so there are 4 seals in the Sufferance that you know of, which equate to these 4 keys. One of these seals is literally a dam that blocks the water from flowing down over Hemoth Tirith like a great giant lake that would just, if that seal was to burst, the whole place would flood Hemoth Tirith instantly.
Right.
For example, the other 3 keys relate to other pieces of architecture around the Sufferance. You couldn't make a lot of sense of that stuff because it was a lot more abstract. One of them was a wall on a tower. One of them said something about some sort of fiendish business. You can't quite figure that out.
So these are the actual physical parts of the elemental keys.
I'm sorry?
But those are the actual.
Those
is
are
that
not
the
the
actual
physical parts. No, those are
Oh.
related to the elemental keys.
Oh,
They
do you
are-
think that if...
They are
Oh, yes.
bound to them.
Ah, right.
They are governed by them.
And do I have any idea where they are, where those places are?
Within the Sufferance, you know where. You're pretty sure you know where the. Hang on a second. I will actually answer this more thoroughly.
Yay, we've started asking the right questions.
Hey.
Do we think if we activate the item, for example, the water one, it will open the dam?
There is a north key, a
would
south
be
key, an east key, and a west key. They relate to the earth, the fire, to earth, fire, air, and water. Each of these 4 keys has an elemental or a guardian of some description. You've been able to figure out so far that the eastern key, which is air, relates to a figure of a silver dragon who is a guardian of the Sufferance, whom, if you're particularly clever, might have figured out happens to be Delverax, aka Elanus Lea Farahel, Rector of the Red Guard. And
Who we've met.
who you've met, who you might be able to assume possibly has access to at least one of the keys, if not all of them. Hard to say, you haven't asked her that.
Hey, Russell.
Yes, sir.
So, the silver dragon pendant that Elanus gave me,
Yes.
that's not reacting in here, is it?
Not presently.
Okay. That would be too convenient. It's like, oh, here's this fucking key.
Right. No. Most of the other information that you know about these keys so far from your research is that the keys fit inside these boxes. You've seen pictures of the boxes. Orika has literally seen one of the boxes on a boat, so he knows what the boxes look like, and they're heavy. Like, inside them might be something made of stone, for example, or steel, or something very heavy. Something big and heavy fits inside this box.
It takes lots of men to lift them.
Right. And if you were to take the dimensions of that, you would figure out that it would look a lot like the object that Edryn has simply created from having examined the inside of one of these holes on the 4 pillars here.
Do I know...
and they are cylindrical.
We would need the actual physical items, wouldn't we? Not physical representations of them.
As a some sort of mage, you made an Arcana check. Yeah, you would think that would probably you would need the actual key, not a fake key, because it's going to require a magical key that's been imbued with some form of actual magic to do it.
Cool.
And as Orika pointed out, putting a false key in could cause some kind of averse reaction.
Yeah.
What little you know about mythals in your research has led you to believe that they are less like an inanimate objects and more like some kind of complex hive mind.
Okay. Are there any particular markings in the keyholes that would suggest which element they belong to?
Each keyhole is for an element. Within each of those keyholes are 12 possible orientations. And those 12 orientations, Leith...
Let's not worry about the orientations at this point. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what the symbols are in each of them. So we've got that the easternmost one is air.
Yep.
Can I go to the southern one, go to the northern one, and
it's earth.
Look at that one. It's earth, right? So the southern one.
The southern one is fire.
And the western one.
The western one is water. So Leith, those and Adrik too, you will know this. Inside the orientation, inside the carvings around the rim on the inside of the keyholes, which was what we shall call them from now on, or at least that's what I'm going to call them. You can call them whatever you like. There are 12 symbols around the closest rim to the edge, and those symbols represent the Zodiac of Sidarhael. And the Zodiac is made up of 12 symbols that relate to names of either giant gods or primal elves. Okay, so there's Varalde, who's a Seldarine, god of the elves. Memnor, who's a giant god that is a symbol of represented by an auroch. So Varalde is a warrior. Then there's an auroch. Then there's some sort of mage. Then there's a symbol of the moon. And it's the first moon, unbroken. Then there's some sort of lion-like creature, possibly a manticore or just a lion, hard to say which. Then there's an image of a little girl playing. Then there's a set of scales. Then there's the image that I've shown you before that you will recognize that looks like this. Which you recognize as the symbol of the Raven Queen. Below that is a symbol of a bow and arrow, which the elves among you will recognize as Solanor, who's the god of archery, among other things, and the hunt, and so on. Then there's a spider. Then there is a star that has one corner of it is slightly bigger than the other 3 corners of this 4-pointed star, which has over the years become a symbol of Ida Solemn, which is the smaller of the 2 suns. of Sidarhael, and sometimes refers to the sun before it was split in twain. And the very last image is an image of some sort of giant sea creature, like a kraken. Yes, Edryn. You may or may not recognize that if you look at it, Edryn.
Oh, it's that similar.
Right, so some of you might know the names of these things. So the warrior was Varelde, the Auroch is Memnor, the symbol of Memnor. The magus is Stronmaus, who's a giant god of magic. The moon is a symbol of Sehanine, of course. The lion creature is a symbol of Corellon. The little girl playing is a symbol of Lalanus, who's a giant goddess, symbolized by a virgin. The scales are a symbol of Labalus. The Raven Queen is also sometimes symbolized by Shevarash, who's an elven god, but more plainly just the Raven Queen. It depends on who you're asking, basically. The spider is Scoraeus. The star, Ida Solum, is Araleth, whom Nyla, I think, you have some connection to. And the kraken is the giant god Othea. Now, of those things, can I get an Arcana check from Leith and Edryn? And possibly, actually, Gudael and Nyla, you can make Arcana checks too. Orika
19.
and Adrik, probably not so likely.
Oh, 19 again.
19? Leith, did
18.
you say 18?
19.
Wow.
21.
Wow. Okay, so you guys know these things for facts. Varelde represents fire. Memnor represents earth. Stronmaus represents air. Sehanine represents water. Corellon represents fire. Iolanthra represents earth. Labalus represents air. Shevarash represents fire. Solanor represents air. Scoraeus represents earth. Aralath represents air. And Othea represents water. So what you have is 3 sets of fire, water, earth, air. Fire, water, earth, air. Fire, water, earth, air. Right? It's like there's 3 different permutations of those things. And you have, amongst those things, there's a kind of an active version of it, a passive version of it, and a kind of a waning version of it. So there's fire rising, fire at its height, and fire falling away. And the same with the other 3 elements. So each force has 3 states. So you have a whole bunch of permutations. So between each of these 4 individual pillars and all of these different orientations, you have 4 times 12 potential words that you could spell. Potentially addresses.
Feel like we might have lucked out. This place looks like a multi-leveled doorway.
Yes, who knows where we could go with this?
You could freely enter anyway. One might say it's a freeway. But we need to find the keys first. Do you guys have any ideas where we would find the keys?
Yeah, well, it seems that Orika might know where one of them is, at least.
Why me?
Well, you've seen the box.
Just because I've seen the box doesn't mean I know what a key is.
Well, yes, but it's at least a lead.
And our silver dragon friends might also know where to find something.
Yes. So I think between those two leads, we might have something.
Methinks, there's more to this than we know.
Oh, certainly, but we need to at least make inquiries to be able to push forward. Correct?
Bear in mind, we've got a time limit. We're due to see Rain tomorrow, and that's likely our only chance to do so. we're likely not going to have the chance to get the keys.
Yes.
Which is a damn shame. That being said, Iolanthra seems to be aware of a gate in Vaingate. They may have keys of their own there, unless there are only 4 in existence, which is a mighty huge pain in the arse.
Wait, why would we not have the time?
Because we're picking up Ren tomorrow, we're going to give him the potion, and he's going to do the thing. Once we grab him, we'll likely have to flee the city.
Yes.
Having those gate open make that much easier.
But it's going to take too much travel. Yes, you're quite right.
Let's get out of here. This place bad news.
Okay.
I might have a problem.
What's that?
Yes?
How do we get out of here without being spotted? Because I can't be a weasel again. I used up my shapes.
What if Nyla was the one that we found when we came in here? Be very odd that if we said we were coming in to look for someone and then we leave without someone.
It's only an 800-foot jump off the waterfall onto the rocks and water below.
I've got an Adrik gestures at his boots. These runes I've got on my soles. That could get us down fairly safely. Let me just do some calculations in my head for distance. Okay, so Adrik's thinking he could get us down with feather fall. Just read that very quickly. Choose up to 5 falling creatures within the 6 of us.
Right. Sorry. Sorry to be like a little bit of a thing, but if we're going to do the dead body thing, I've got a spell that I can do.
I meant as a prisoner, but we could also do dead body.
Right. Well, I've got a spell that's a willing creature. It's called what is it called? It's disappearing from my. Where is it? My
Feign death?
Yeah, that's the one. Feign death.
Excellent.
That's probably better. Like my runes couldn't get us down. They're good for about 360 feet. Beyond that, plummet.
It does not sound exactly great.
No, it's not ideal. Then we just have to get Edryn back into his armor.
Joy of joys. Alright, well, let's get as close as we can before doing that.
Right. It lasts an hour, so I would be like pretty much dead for an hour.
That's fine.
I think we should do that last minute and then leave. Or walk out the door.
Okay, so you guys basically exit the tomb at this point, out back onto the narrow walkway that crosses across the front of the waterfall, or behind the waterfall, should I say, back towards the door that enters the palace.
Yes.
So you're on that ledge at present. The water is pouring down past you on one side. Wind is causing the material that's covering one side of this. Well, actually, at this point there's no covering. Not until you get to the door. Yes, so the wind is lashing around you. You're getting sprayed with water left, right, and center, of course. Anyone want to make a wisdom saving throw not to get giddy and just fall off? You can help each other.
Is that a question?
It is a question.
We'll help each other.
Yeah, I think we would.
I think there would be a certain amount of
Sure.
Vertigo going on right now. A 4, was it? You can do it with advantage because you're helping each other.
Sorry, what was the check?
It's wisdom saving throw.
16.
16. Okay, so Nyla's fine.
I got an 8.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
27.
27.
Rolling twice, see how this goes.
Can I gift my inspiration to Michael?
You can gift your inspiration to Michael.
Oh, 14.
So Michael, you
Thank
can
you,
have another. another shot. At this.
It's even worse. Crit one.
Oh my god. Okay, let's hear from everyone else yet. Oh, I think we have.
Fuck me.
My God.
Don't worry, Michael. I have a plan.
I have
a cunning
one
plan,
as
my
well.
lord.
I have a cunning plan, my lord.
I have a cunning plan, my lord.
Oh, so do I,
So
actually.
cunning you can pin a tail on it and call it a donkey. A weasel, not a donkey. What the fuck? Wisdom from Orika.
Pin the tail on the donkey. Yeah.
17 for Orika, you're fine.
Yeah.
So any one of you who wishes to can make some kind of attempt to catch Adrik.
I'm going to
Right, no, try-
levitate
I
him.
am not the
Michael.
strongest. I would go
Oh.
down with him. Actually, I'll do it anyway.
If I'm near him, I'll do it.
All right, Orika, you can go for it.
Going for it now.
Make a strength check for you.
I'm going to cast levitate on Adrik.
Okay, what's the duration? How long does it take to cast?
Casting time, 1 action.
Okay.
Duration, concentration up to 10 minutes.
Okay. So he begins to fall. Orika, you grab him, but he's still falling because he's heavy, because he's a dwarf wearing full plate armor and carrying a bunch of shit. So he's sort of slipping out of your fingers when Leith relieves that weight with his levitation. And you pull him back up onto the thing.
Thank you, Orika. I'm assuming this is you, Leith. Thank you kindly.
That was very close, yes.
You're telling me.
All right, and you manage to get back to the door and open it. And the guards are standing there. The guard looks across at you, Gudael. I assume you found what you're looking for?
Mission accomplished.
Light,
she
love,
marches.
liberty, and light.
I'm a blackguard.
Like,
I don't do that Daughters of Twilight stuff.
I believe it is fairly ubiquitous. Forgive me, madam.
Oh, I thought you said that it was specific to the Daughters of Twilight.
I may have said that, in which case I take it all back and I look like a fool.
I personally love the idea of like this guy giving us, blessings to you, have a great day. Fuck you, no.
Basically. I think that's the gist of it, right?
Your brother would be so proud.
I love that vision so much.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so you guys leave out through the front door of the palace. And you head off palace grounds and back towards the Daughters of Twilight complex. And you make it back to your room, to your apartments.
I think so.
Very easy to leave. I'm not going to question it, though.
So,
Yeah.
You just did.
everyone sits around in silence. Is that what I'm getting?
All
Jake's
right,
still
you
thinking
should
about his
get.
brush with death.
You should get and give the information to the lady.
Iolanthra. Yes, you're right, Orika. I should do that.
We
I
got-
might stay here. Just I don't know if Iolanthra and I are on the best of terms right now.
Why is that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
The Daughters of Twilight are always merciful, Adrik.
In fact,
Should
that's-
we-
Allow me to rephrase. I'd prefer not to, but thank you.
I'll stay and keep you company if you'd like, in case one of those shadow things come back.
Thank you, Edryn.
Should we not perhaps go and speak with Alanis? She may have some knowledge as to, or should we just head straight for the sufferance?
We'll likely see Alanis tomorrow on the way there.
Yes.
The timing for our visit to the sufferance is quite specific, I believe.
Of course. And what sort of time of the day is it?
right now.
Oh, is it now?
No. What time? Are you asking the time now, or are you asking the time for
Yeah.
the meeting or for the journey?
Both.
both.
The relationship of the current time to the time that we're supposed to be at the sufferance, mate.
Right, okay, so the time that you're supposed to go to the sufferance will be 10 o'clock in the morning the following day. Presently, it's pretty much getting dark and it's about dinner time. So it's about 7th bell.
We should probably get our wits about us then and have a good rest.
You can hear the bells ringing outside.
And yes, as you can hear, it's getting time for rest, and so we're all prepared to head out towards the sufferance tomorrow. Yes.
Would we not like to have like a rest first?
Well, yes, that's what I'm suggesting.
Sorry,
This is a good
OrsonD,
idea.
I just saw your question there about ranged attacks prone disadvantage. Yes, prone are at disadvantage. Yes, that's true. Did somebody make a ranged attack when they were prone? I might have missed that.
Don't think so.
Case.
It was a while ago.
If that was the case, I apologize, but I'm sure there was a reason. Trust the dice. All right, please continue. Oh, guiding bolt. She was.
It's a spell attack. It's not a ranged attack.
That's true.
I don't think it counts as a.
That is a good story, though. I agree. Yeah, I mean, like for now, it's good enough for now. I'll consider it for the future.
It's like street. It's a melee. Make a ranged spell attack. Yeah, it is a ranged spell attack.
Ranged attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
and
does
you were
that mean?
prone at the time, were you?
No, I wasn't prone.
Gudael, when were you prone? You were the only one that cast guiding bolt, weren't you?
Yeah, I don't think I was prone.
I think it was.
Oh, I was prone.
No,
I think
it
you were
was to the
attacking
it was
the creature in the lake.
in the well. Yeah.
Yeah.
The creature in the lake was prone.
Yeah.
The target was prone, so it should have had an advantage against it.
Ah, right.
Oh, ranged attacks. I see. Yes, you're quite right, Orson. I understand what you're getting at now. I apologize. Yes, she should have had disadvantage because it was prone. That's what you're saying. Yes, that's
Right.
true.
Right.
So, like, melee attacks get advantage, range attacks get disadvantage against prone creatures. So, I think that's what you're saying. Is that right, Orson? Feel free to take your time. Anyway, you guys, what are you doing?
If you want, I'll
next?
just roll it again now and see what it comes up with.
The shadow guy's like just following us behind because it wasn't vanquished.
Well, you see, the thing is, Orson, at the time, my thinking was that if I make it prone, it's going to be easier for her, so I did that on purpose. If I'd realized the rules, if that was in my head, I wouldn't have made it prone. So I did what I wanted to do. The intention served the purpose. So
I got a 26. It would have hit anyway.
Would have hit anyway?
Yeah.
Okay.
The ends justify the means, or the means justify the ends.
Excellent.
Rule
go.
of cool.
Roll of cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like moving on.
Okay, so what are you guys doing? You going to go and visit Iolanthra, or?
Yeah, I think I'll go do that so that that particular mission can be closed off.
Summed up and closed off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
All right,
chill
so
with
you get to her.
Edryn and other person.
Are we all going there?
The rest of you don't have to.
I'll go with her because that's my job.
Right, makes sense. Orika would go along.
Do you guys know how to play cards?
I'm a I served for a while. I know a few dwarven card games.
Do
You
you
can
know
play
how
Dragon
to play?
Chess.
Do you know how to play Ipswich?
No, but I'm keen to learn. Always keen to learn. Agent's been trying to show me dragon chess, and I'm struggling.
Right.
Still getting there. It's a long game.
It's very easy to learn. First, you need to put $2 gold on the table.
Well, that's a problem because I am skint.
Oh look, I'll shout you some gold. I'll lend you some.
Oh yeah, you're skint. Yeah, that's right. You owe these guys like hundreds of thousands of gold pieces at this time, don't you?
Well, I mean, Brixton's dead, so it's fine. I don't owe him shit.
You don't owe a dead man shit.
Leith doesn't quite like the sound of gambling, so he's going to go with Dala.
All right, very good. So Dala, Leith, and Orika, you head off down the corridors of the barracks of Tarsellis Temple, Daughters of Twilight Complex here in Hemoth Tirith, and you arrive at the doors of Iolanthra Emdrael, which are guarded by 2 paladins outside. The first paladin steps forward and, recognizing you, Gudael.
Gudael would have gotten out of that Blackguard uniform.
I had assumed that.
Okay.
Because, yes, there are some DMs that will... Yeah, it's not the point of the story, is it? Just to make life difficult for no fucking reason. So, you get there, the first guard steps forward and she's about to interrogate you. You sort of sense, when she recognizes you and she steps back, "Forgive me, sister," and she says, "I'm sure Lady Iolanthra would be honored to meet with you now." And she opens the door. And she steps aside for the 3 of you to enter.
Thank you. Light, love, liberty. Yes.
Very well. You go inside, and they close the door again. And inside, it's very much like your own apartments as previously described, only a little bit flasher. And at this point, Iolanthra is nowhere to be seen at first. And you're sort of milling there for a moment when a servant goes into one of the quarters, and Iolanthra comes out, and she's dressed in a simple robe, and she looks like she's been performing some form of ceremony or something. You can smell incense on her. You can see the incense coming out from the room that she's been in, and she steps out and closes the door behind her, and she says, "Gudael."
Iolanthra, I hope I did not catch you at a bad time.
No, sister, you've come at a good time. I have just finished my early evening prayers. How may I help you?
The task which you had given to my compatriots and I, we've completed it.
Most excellent. What did you discover?
There is indeed an archway underneath the palace.
I thought as much.
Yes. And the runes say below tomb suffer gate, roughly. So,
do you have them inscribed? Do you have it on paper?
We didn't do that, did we?
No. Leith at least wrote down the elements of the keys.
Adrik wrote down the address.
Adrik's not there, though.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you know, you would have seen him writing it down while we were working.
Yeah. Okay, so you know Adrik wrote it down.
You
know Adrik wrote something down. He could have been writing his diary. It could have been his,
Dear diary,
and
today
upon
I
my
almost
death,
died.
I bequeath Milford Brixton. Scratch that, he's already dead. I bequeath Nyla my axe. I bequeath Edryn my glass eye they didn't know I had.
In the event of my death, throw my body into a hole.
Wait.
No ceremony.
Yeah.
You just said you weren't that kind of DM, Russell.
Damn it. I look when it suits me. And also, Leith, Steve, it depends on how much time I need to buy for myself to think up the next scene.
Right.
So if I throw shit at you to stall you so that you have to think about stuff while I'm busy going, what the fuck's going to happen next? Oh my god.
And if we're back at the card game, then the things are on the table. Nyla's going to cast Druidcraft and it's going to feel like someone's tapping you on the shoulder. And she's going to go, look over there! And she's going to take the coins. It's called Ipswich. And she's going to put an acorn back on the table.
Edryn's just looking at the cards like, I don't understand any of this.
Adrik's going to turn to Edryn. Do you get it?
I have single-handedly mastered magic by myself from learning books without going to school. I don't understand this game in the slightest.
All right,
This is beyond my comprehension.
Really, it's a game that we learn when we are children.
All right,
Yes,
so
well,
so you that movie is called A Giggleness, right?
Yes, the giggleness. And
And
see,
you perform. That can only be performed when your opponent is distracted, and that can be done by any means.
that is correct.
How old are you typically when you learn this game?
Usually about 5.
And that's in elf years.
No, that's just in general years. Although I am
Just in
117, so it's been a while.
Oh, goodness gracious me.
All right, back at Iolanthra's rooms, because it is 10:30 almost, and I want to wrap this up soon. What are you saying to her?
So I'll tell her what we saw on the archway. If you have quill and parchment, I can write down what I remember about the archway. And Leith, did you say that you had recorded details on the keys?
Also, out of game, what did you do with the fabrications of the keys that you brought back?
I believe I would have tucked it away somewhere, hopefully the bag of holding.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. In which case, that's also a good idea. I'll bring that out too.
She says, "What?" She says, "You have one of the keys."
No, this is a fabrication, but this is roughly what we believe they look like.
It is a bit odd. It's not quite right. But yes, and this one is not. Does not appear to be the true thing. So you fabricated this yourself?
Yes.
Interesting. How did you do that?
Oh, it was a gift from Milmore Glass one time.
Truly. Milmore Glass. What was the gift?
It was some pots of paint.
Interesting. I shall have to speak with Milmore about this.
Yeah.
I see. Very well. She looks at you quizzically for a moment. A little bit miffed. You get this very slight sense of her being a little bit miffed. And she's not often miffed, Iolanthra.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Very well. And what else do you have? Is that all? There are 4 keys. You did not find the actual keys, only the keyholes, I assume.
Yes, that is more or less the sum total of what we found.
I see. So you realize what this means for us, Gudael?
This means potentially we could travel not only across Sidarhael, but to other realms.
Yes, if we had the addresses to those realms, of course we could, but we do not. What it means, Gudael, is that we can travel from Vaingate to Hemath Tirith one way. We have the keys to the gate in Vaingate. We do not have the keys here. But we know the address, so we know where we're going. We can align the keys in Vaingate to coincide with the address here, because we have the keys in Vaingate.
Excellent. And the keys in Vaingate, would they work here?
No.
No. Okay. They're specific to the keyholes. Very good.
Well, at least it's a start, and we can perhaps consider where we might be able to investigate to find those further keys.
Can I get you guys to make insight checks, please?
16.
25.
Wow. When you asked her if the keys would work, if those keys would work here, she hesitated just a little bit longer than you would have expected her to. But she denied it. She said they would not work. So we have established much then, Gudael. Thank you most for your great work. You have indeed earned the gifts that I have brought you from Vaingate.
Thank you most graciously, Iolanthra.
Of course, you are welcome. Now, what will you do next?
Suppose I shall return to my quarters and have my own prayer time.
Very well, of course. It is almost the hour of Solinor's rest. Thus, yes, we must return to our duties. Good night then, Gudael.
Good night.
And Leith, Orika.
Oh, yes, good evening to you.
And you return to your quarters. And here, I feel, we shall tidy up our game this evening, and we shall say welcome and thank you once again to Caitlin Flower, our new member of our cast on the Vaingate Chronicles.
Welcome, Caitlin.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hopefully she'll be back next week.
I shall.
She's not going to run away between now and then. She'll be like, oh my god, it was terrible.
Awkward moment when I'm actually sick next week and it feels like it's gone away.
Well, Orson says she's a great addition, so there you go. That's good to know.
Yay.
I'm so happy.
Cool bananas. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us. Over 31 episodes of the Vaingate Chronicles, more or less, plus and minus a few prequels and other side quests and other little things here and there. Yeah, amazing. Thank you guys very much, and we always appreciate your viewership and your comments and so forth, and of course your subs and your follows and
all of the things.
Too. All the things. Thank you. So everyone have a great night, and we'll see you next week on the Vaingate Chronicles.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.